Day, November the 16th. Mic check, looking good. A lot of fun we had yesterday. We didn't get around to talking about the topic we wanted to talk about, which was that weird alien ship, but we got off track. We'll get into it today for sure. Just fix the mat down here. Don't know why that keeps moving around. So today, that will happen. Just enjoying my breakfast. Today we're having vanilla protein shake with 1 scoop of creatine mixed with water. Twin City Jeff, first in. Welcome. New record. Who beat you yesterday? Papa Malo coming in with number 2. Strong showing so far. Do you guys think we'll actually get onto the topic of the alien ship today? Or will we miss it? Damon Belax. 07 to you too. And what's up with the... are we going to see a cap ship? Is there still going to be a surprise capital ship? MT Stunner. Hello. Welcome. Number 3, you came... Yeah, you did it. Or did you? Wait, Twin City, then Papa Malo. No, MT Stunner, you number 3. No, 4, sorry. Mammon, what's up? Congratulations, I found your channel. You have made the big time. Mammon, you're a filthy traitor. Alright? You went off and supported... Was it Bad News Baron? Who was it? You just got up and left us hanging. Well, then again, we're not really streaming. We didn't stream, but... good to see you, Mammon. What's up with you? Ladies and gents, in case you don't know, Mammon, one of the very, very early test members, right? When we kicked off our stream team initially, Mammon was right in there. What happened to Bad News Baron? Is he still streaming? I don't follow up on that. Is he still around? King Jupe is new here. Is this about spaceships? Yeah, as you can see, that is a spaceship. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And now to talk on to, let's just talk about economics now. And more important things in life than spaceships. I'm kidding. There's nothing more important. What's up, KSS? Yeah, I kept on going through my hangar again yesterday. I'm thinking, okay, the Talon, I'm definitely going to melt. That's $90. I just never use it. I don't think there's use for it. For his career. Oh, Mammon, what is Bad News Baron doing now? 'Cause I know he gave streaming like a real shot. Like I've never seen anyone sit down and spreadsheet out what they were going to do. And he said, I'm going to be streaming. This is my schedule every day from this hour to this hour. He goes, I need to be making, well, I didn't say how much he's going to be making, but he broke it down. Like it was very systematic in the way he approached streaming. And, I mean, it's not easy. Not for everyone. Young Guns, 07. How you doing? Geronimo, we may or may not cover Speedos. We'll see where it goes. There's no telling where the stream goes. He writes ad copy. What is ad copy? So when you make commercials? Or you write scripts? But Bad News Baron was very methodical in the way he approached his streaming. And it wasn't, you know, I'm just going to play a game and people watch you play the game. Like, he had a definite goal in mind. And I think it's a very stark reminder that a lot of people come onto Twitch to remind them that just because you turn a camera on and you're playing a game doesn't guarantee you're going to become the next ninja or the next Dr. Disrespect. It's a very crowded field and more difficult, more so in the niche of space sims. So not only are you just a streamer amongst 50,000 other streamers who are coming on board this year to Twitch, but you're also deciding to stream in a very, very niche topic, which is space sims. And within that very, very niche topic of space sims, which covers Elite Dangerous, Starfield now, well, not really a sim, it's an RPG, but the game style itself. And where's my work? Oh, thanks, Young Guns. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gotta take off my warm hat. I buzzed my head yesterday. Is it shiny? Yeah, looks good. Feels nice too. I don't know, I just feel after a good buzz, it just feels, I can't stop touching it. It's just very, ASMR time. Montoya's head. Can you hear that? Oh yeah. There. Okay, now I'm at work. Put on my uniform. Now I'm good to go. The sunglasses. Yeah. Oh wait, you know what? I do have those. Actually, today we're going to be channeling Andrew Tate. Look, you want to be an alpha male in Star Citizen? It's very simple. Take a drag of my cigar. You got to put aside those beta male tendencies, all right? A real alpha male doesn't care about the opinions of those who hate Star Citizen. I don't watch enough Andrew Tate to know what he actually says. Maybe I should go through a couple of his videos. But I'm guessing that's what he says, right? Of course I can't. Have you ever felt a freshly buzzed head? It feels great. What's up, Slicer? Welcome. I'll make a mental note of that now, actually, just to go watch some Andrew Tate. I feel we can channel some of that, right? Oh, so yeah, Roma, what? So you said Bad News Baron is doing ad copy. Chat GPT making resist streaming. Yes. So is that when you're writing stuff for a product? Because I saw him for the SpaceX. He was on the channel for the SpaceX launch, wasn't he? You're making me refresh my memory. If you guys don't know, Bad News Baron was one of the early streamers for Star Citizen. Is that how you spell it? Baron with one R? How does he spell his name? That's it? Yeah. I think it was great. Very talented. Very well spoken. What's the last time he put out something? All videos. Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, I guess he hasn't done this in a while. But I greatly admire the way he approached it. All the way from his branding, merchandising. Really gave it a shot. And I think it's also a case of just not hitting the numbers you need to actually make a living from this kind of thing. It's extremely difficult to get there. And I'm not going to say that his mistake was Star Citizen, but it's definitely picked a niche which was extremely difficult to do very well in. Speaking of, I got to pull up my YouTube chat. I can't see what you guys are saying.
Do very well in.
Do very well in. You. Here we go. Hey, now I see you guys. Dr. Disrespect Squad 40 reaction video is actually somewhat entertaining. Is there any reaction to it? You mean the Star Engine, Dwagar? His Star Engine reaction, or the or is there something I didn't see that he did? Is there something new? An actual Squadron 42 reaction? Because what I saw was him reacting to Asmon. If there's another one, let me know. I'd be curious to see it. Xavier, we're all buying the alien ship. Come on. You didn't expect 10 years development. Right, Kodak. Yeah, so you hit it there. I think that all the early streamers in Star Citizen were right in picking a game that is definitely going to be good. So if you can establish yourself as a credible streamer in a game before the game takes off, you're in a good spot. None of us expected 10 years of a development cycle. I think if Bad News Baron had gotten Star Citizen released in 2016, he'd be probably one of the big top streamers in here right now. But that also hit him pretty early. But it's also a case of, how much money do you need? Where do you live? What's your cost of living? Some guys get by with, $2,000 a month and they can pull it off. There are some places where you live where you need $5,000 a month to pull it off. So, it's really very situational. Haven't seen Captain Richard stream Star Citizen in a while either. Captain Richard, I have seen active, but he's been doing other games. I don't know if he's just burnt out from Star Citizen, but he is also right in some horizontal expansion. Not that he's getting fat, but horizontal as in spreading out amongst other games and bringing in viewers from other places. Because once you've captured your Star Citizen audience, that's it. Like there's no one else, unless, I mean, there's new people coming into Star Citizen, but the real bulk of new people arriving in Star Citizen hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen when the game comes out. So Captain Richard and all other streamers at some point should, I know Maya's expand out to other games too, whether it's Red Dead, whatever it is, expanding out and playing other games and then bringing that audience to Star Citizen is probably a very sound strategy. Watch a guy reacting to a guy reacting to something, X8. Right. There was no Doc Disrespect reacts to Squadron 42, right? It was just Doc reacting to Asmon. Not that Doc needs to... Dr. Disrespect is well aware of the situation. He's one of the few streamers with a pretty rich and deep understanding of game development, being that he was a game dev himself. What's up, Grimhex? Welcome. So, Doc Disrespect, we know he's already... I'm pretty sure he's backed the game, and he understands the delays, and I think he appreciates what he's seen so far from Star Citizen. Is 321 going live? There's a PTU update, and the live will be taking place tomorrow with the launch of the International Aerospace Expo. I know people keep trying to correct me and say it's what? Intergalactic? No, that's a typo. It's the International, all right? There's no taking it. Yes. And the Soylent Green, yeah. The Soylent... yesterday's... Okay, we went off the rails yesterday. I wanted to log in, go live streaming, and I wanted to say, guys, I'm pulling up the Soylent Green here. We're going to take a look at it, and we're going to discuss it, and then I was going to take that 8 to 10 minute segment and put that up on YouTube as a separate video. But instead of doing what I needed to do so I can get all that YouTube monies, we went off on Speedos, fat Germans. We just went off on everything yesterday. I know, we didn't get to what we needed to do. We just didn't get that. What's up next year? How you doing? And Mammon, how are you doing, man? What's up with your life? It's been years since we chatted. Tristan De Jager, interregional. We're interregional works also. We can do that, right? What's on the agenda? 22 hours. Okay, we got 22 hours to kill. Should we just do a 22-hour stream? And I took your advice, guys. I asked you yesterday. I said, how the hell do these other streamers feed themselves through the day if they're just streaming? Because, I mean, around 12 o'clock, my stomach's grumbling. I'm out of here. I got to eat. As much as I love hanging out with you guys, I do need my carbs and my proteins. Otherwise, I'll shrivel up to nothing. And then I'll get no respect, which is another interesting topic I came up with. Who was talking to me yesterday? Carl Kaput, who has made some videos. I may disagree and agree with him with certain things, but he was bringing up an interesting topic about some conflict within a well-known org in the game. And I had an interesting conversation with him, and now we're going on a tangent. We'll get back to that if he put something out, maybe. But there's a lot of conflicts between orgs and within orgs, which is a fascinating thing I know you guys don't follow enough of, but it is my realm. I'd be curious to see if that's a topic that people are interested in, because it's not anything I see anywhere else. I don't see streamers covering this stuff. It's not their content. It's not their wheelhouse. Does that drama interest anyone at all, or is it just me? It interests me because that's the world I'm in, right? Mammon quit Twitch because it was eating his life, moved across the country, changed careers. Really, Mammon? How was Twitch eating your life? Are you a streamer? Or are you just a viewer or a consumer of Twitch? In case, I guess that means you have an addiction. Is it possible? Or Twitch addiction's a thing? Grimhex.org was that? Yeah, Vertice, there's an RSI mining ship, and the rumors, new concept ship is no. Is that I guess it is a concept ship, but we're also thinking of a capital ship. There hasn't been a good capital ship released in a long time. Yesterday, I spent too much time discussing everything everywhere. That was. I'm kind of half tempted to rewatch that movie now, in case I was just being too hard on it. But then after watching kind of the trailers, I go, no, I'm not watching that movie again. It's just weird. You're a glorified viewer. I don't know why I used to watch so much. Oh, Mammon, why do you watch Twitch so much? Like, what is it? So I'm going to suck Mammon in. Watch this. Mammon, we're all very interested to know how you feel about lots of things right now. I want you to spend the next 6 hours writing in text chat to tell us random things that could be interesting. Is that a thing? Is Twitch addiction a thing? I'm terrible because I just don't follow anything on Twitch. I don't watch people play. The idea of watching someone play a game is so foreign to me. I cannot think of any time I've sat down and watched someone play a game. The only time I've watched Twitch is news, politics, maybe if there's some kind of commentary on something I'm interested in. But playing a game, like I will play the game myself before I watch anyone else play the game. Maybe that's me. Current price in the Orion, asks Soku. Yamashita. I don't know. Good question. I know all prices have changed recently. Skunks, I was there for original big self-destruct day in the New Year's. Yeah, Grimhex, that's actually the topic he was bringing up about the whole Skunk Works thing. And I mean, I don't bring up a topic as a way to attack or slam, but more of an interesting study as to why these things unfold, why they happen, and how they're dealt with. There's running communities is definitely interesting. It's fascinating and challenging. Not only because you get a lot of conflicts within your own community, but there's conflicts from outside communities which affect you too. So it's a constant... I used to take these things very personal. I still do. But I look at it as a very educational and interesting, continually unfolding kind of soap opera. That's what it is. So the deal with skunks, I mean, this is not the topic for the day, but I'm always interested to see what they have done, because as far as I know, skunks still going fine. I see them attending events. There's content, so the front-facing part of it looks okay to me. I don't know what's happening inside of it, but from what I see from the outside, it looks fine. I could be wrong. Orion coming about the same time as the Merchantman Pioneer. Dwaygo, I don't know, that Pioneer, with all the base building they teased, orgs that grow too quick burns out quickish as well. I wouldn't say that is necessarily true, because there's plenty of orgs which grew up quick, but it becomes an issue of having people in the org fit in rather than butt heads, because you get to a stage, and I'm guessing this is what possibly happened in Skunks, but there's always individuals that come in and go, whatever you guys are doing here sucks, you should listen to me. And then conflicts arise from that, right? I could be wrong, but we'll get more information on that. There's plenty of orgs in Star Citizen that well, actually, no, you know what? You're part right, because, what's the name? Medrunners. Medrunners went through their stuff also. But with Medrunners, it was more about being attacked from the outside. Or was there an internal issue at Medrunners? I know that they had a certain way they thought they wanted to run it. I covered that briefly with Medrunners, where they said you can only wear these color combinations when you're in the org with us. You can't wear it outside the org. My thing then, and I still say it now, is you got to give these org leaders some room. Let them find out what works. Let them make the mistakes and correct. The notion that org leaders are infallible and incapable of ever making mistakes is weird. Let them make mistakes. Let them correct. That's the only way to grow. Your channel is the only Twitch watch now. Not on a big streamer. Oh shit! Mammon subscribed. Mammon, who has worked so hard and so much effort over the years to pull away from Twitch, to get away from it, has now been sucked right back in. I'm sorry, Mammon. I didn't mean to relapse you, man. I'll refund you when this is over, okay? I'll give you space bucks once I've pulled my Giants crypto scam. Med rhinos are alien slavers disguised as UAE citizens. Stop it, Nexor. So it begins. Right, so next thing Mammon's going to do is going to say, make me a mod. And then he has to be here every day. So Mammon, no, I'm not going to do that. Test coin? No, no. Fresh DNB, you don't know the drama. Spacebucks is an actual crypto that I created. And if you look below Twitch where you get the Spacebucks, the idea was that you'll earn them by watching what you do. Seeker, subscribe, thank you. Oh my God, Mammon, look what you did. Right, so the idea was that the Spacebucks you see below on Twitch there you earn, and then say you get 10,000, 100,000, you actually get an actual crypto Spacebucks, which then can trade with each other. And there's a guy on our Discord named Chovan who will accept it as payment for things like buying ships. And okay, that makes a good idea. It made sense in my head, but there was a very dramatic and aggressive attack by the Pipeline subreddit, who is run by an actual criminal, who then attacked me for having the idea, and a drama unfolded. It was awesome drama. Yeah. But in any case, there was a very essential part of the equation we needed, which was the ability to send easily between ourselves in Discord, which required this awesome bot that this guy made, which required the Twitter API. Mr. Stunner with 300 bits, thank you. We're on fire this morning. So the problem with that idea was that it was not easily transferable. Not everyone wants to download wallets. People don't want to download stuff, and I can understand that. But the essential tool we needed was canceled because Elon Musk came and changed the API on Twitter where he charged money. And the guy that was running that bot, which allows you to transfer stuff on Discord, basically said, no, we're not going to, it's too expensive. Like, he's not going to pay $40,000 a month for an API. Oh, sub goal met. Well, guys, I'm a pretty big streamer at this point, and I guess I can just walk away now and let you guys just watch reruns of stuff. How's it work? Duego with $10. Thank you very much. Beers aren't going to buy themselves. $10 is like $300 Canadian. Screw you. Actually, it is. Actually, what is the exchange? I think it's like $1.30 to 1 of Canadian money. I'm terrible. Yeah. All my stuff is still in US. I mean, my credit cards, Amazon, like all. I don't actually see Canadian dollars. You know, you pay for everything with your phone. Do I even have Canadian dollars in my wallet? No. When's the last time anyone even used cash? Thank you very much, Dwego. Appreciate it with your US dollars. I'm rich, bitch. So when Pipeline was saying about new, yeah, look, KSS, when that I didn't know Pipeline dealt with that kind of stuff. I thought Pipeline just does ships, but the lesson learned there is you have to harden yourself against attacks. I didn't think anyone would have a problem with it. The last thing I thought that there'll be a gigantic issue with another community attacking me for the idea. But I understand where Hater comes from, right? He's the one that stole the 2015 data dump and wanted to sell access to it. If the thing which saved his ass was he was underaged. If he was 18, he would have been sued. He'd be in major financial problems and legal issues. for what he did there. But the only thing that saved him there was he was underage, so he lucked out. But the way he went after that, I was surprised. I mean, not that I didn't know him. We've messaged. I've been on a podcast with him. But lesson learned is that when you do anything, you're going to, whether it's making an org or you make a video or you tweet, there's going to be people coming after you. And it was essentially a lesson in, prepare to be a hardened target. Be aware that people will come after you for whatever you say, for whatever reason. Oh, speaking of whatever you say, I'm just cruising over Twitter. And this guy, he tags me in posts for Star Atlas every once in a while. I'm like, oh, whatever. But I'm tagged in this. I'm like, oh, why is he tagging me in this? And so I go, well, let me see what he has to say.
This may be the death knell.
A lot of people saying Star Atlas is dead.
I'll never buy anything related to any of these, Web3 games.
This might be the end of what we've known as Star Atlas. It's me bashing Star Atlas. I'm like, well, I feel I'm very, very fair with my coverage of Star Atlas. I don't want to be the Derek Smart of Star Atlas. I've never said that Star Atlas is a scam. I've given them that. But what I was referencing in that video clip he took there was they had fired a large part of their staff. I think they went down from like 200 employees to 40 employees. And like, how the hell can they function and develop this game they want to do with so little employees? Right, Kay says it's the one where. So, okay, going back to that story, we'll come back to this one quickly. In 2015 or 16, I don't remember when, Disco Lando had an Inside Star Citizen, and behind him was a screen. And on that screen was a partial URL to Amazon Cloud or whatever. And there were like 5 or 6 digits left, which were hidden. And someone went and brute forced those last couple of digits, and it gave him access to like a 90 gig data file containing a whole bunch of assets from CIG. And your friend over there took this data file and then said, hey, if you guys, meaning his community, want access to it, you got to join my Patreon. And he sold access to that, which is very illegal. And the only reason he did not get smacked down was like he was like 16 at the time or something. So that's where he's coming from on it. So nice for him to lecture his community about what is a scam or not. You received a level 1 hype train emote. I did? Why would I get an emote? God, I'm terrible at streaming. Star Atlas is a Ponzi? Nexion, no. Star Atlas is trying to make a game. All right, so back to this story. Star Atlas basically looked at what Star Citizen was doing, and they hired Star Citizen ship devs, contractors, not actually employees, but contractors who Star Citizen has used in the past to make ships for them. And the idea is they're going to make this massive big game. It's not going to be on scale with Star Citizen, but it's kind of hinted that that's where they wanted to go. And they managed to fund a large part of that by selling NFTs back when NFTs were hot. So look, we know by watching Star Citizen that if you have a good source of funding and the vision and the people to pull it off, you could possibly do it. So I don't want to write them off, but NFTs are not selling. They're not making money from selling NFTs now. That stream of income is gone. I don't know where they're getting their funding right now. If anyone follows the project more closely than me, please feel free to share. But at no point do I call them a scam, because I do believe they are trying to do this, and they are doing what they can using Unreal 5, which is looking beautiful, right? There's no doubt. This is not horrible. This is decent. Graphically, like what they've achieved here is good. Unreal 5 allows you The amount of effort that CIG spent on CryEngine, now then Lumberyard, then Star Engine, to get lighting and get just the graphic fidelity where they want it. Unreal 5 does it in the snap. Like, you can just spit it right out, right? So the advantage that Star Atlas has in trying to do what they do is just Unreal 5 does the job of 500 CryEngine devs by clicking a button, right? FPS combat, not horrible. Those models look great. They have a map. way better than what Star Citizen has. Come on, their map's good. Character design looks great. Those ships look awesome because they were designed by Star Citizen devs. Come on, those space bikes, right? I mean, we got the racing module in. This looks good. If you had told me this is just some, indie game dev putting together some sort of racing game, I go, that's not bad. That's decent. No cloth physics though. The bomb. The bombers. Yeah, so look. Here's my take on the situation here with Star Atlas. I very much respect what they're trying to do. My only concern is where's the funding coming from? They need money to do this. They lost a lot of money they earned because of putting to FTX. All right, that's right. They also held a bunch of money at FTX, which went poof. But I believe they managed to get some of it back, didn't they? Unreal wouldn't handle scale. Right, so Unreal 5 is visually beautiful, and it's very easy to create beautiful environments in it. But there's no ways it'll be an MMO. To get Unreal to handle the kind of capacity that Star Engine does is not going to happen. But they don't have to create a game that's going to be what Star says. What I feel is happening here with Star Atlas, and if anyone follows this closely, feel free to correct me, but the direction that this game is going to go is going to be different from what people think. I think it'll be visually beautiful. I don't know if the game is going to be fun to play. No one knows. We don't know if Star Citizen is going to be fun to... Actually, we do. We're playing it right now. We don't know if Squadron 42 will be a fun game. We'll have to wait and see. All right? Thanks for the follow, Commander 41. So... in the beginning of this video, there's a bunch of people.
Obvious
I don't know who Andrew
This may be
is.
the death
We
knell.
know
A lot of people
DG.
saying Star Atlas is dead.
I'll
that's
never buy
Kira.
anything
He's-
related to
Kira is
any
very
of these.
anti. He's very good at staying on top of the crypto scams and all these projects, which 99% of the time fail. He does a good job at that. And then there's me.
3
I
games.
don't know why he's
This
tossing me in
might
that
be-
group. Star Atlas did get some of the money back, right? Not sure how much the funding stuff. Well, I haven't kept up with the story enough to know where currently funding is coming from, but I can only guess that within the crypto world itself, there are probably investors or people who have an interest to see a game come out that does use something crypto related on the back end. And so if there's a game that can do that, then Star Atlas is probably the forerunner on that. It's not some stupid, side scroller or Pokemon style attack this, attack that type game. It's an actual game for gamers. The challenge they will face is that there's no gamer interested in a crypto game. No one here in this channel, I can't wait to play it because it's a crypto game. The fact that there is something crypto related to it, I think, should be in the back burner and unimportant. The game itself needs to be fun. And so, racing is fine. Like shooting things is fine. Will the actual game itself be fun to play? We don't know. So funding, is the game going to be fun? Can it scale to hold as many players as they want? There's a lot of questions I have. But a scam, I mean, they could have walked away from this a long time ago if it was a scam. I think it's legit as a enterprise. I think there's definitely risks involved. The risk is continued funding. If tomorrow funding dries up, what's happened? Is there just one guy sitting on his computer trying to put it all together? Is there a team? If the team is there, how are they getting paid? We don't know. Sol.create. Sol, is that Sol as in Solana? If it is, maybe you know more about this, because this is Solana backend, right? The CryptoPods. What? You got Sol in your name. Dude, you can't have Sol in your name and say you're not interested in crypto. Oh my God. Yeah, but Solana's been kicking ass, man. Look what's been happening there. All right, that's definitely getting attention over the last. Where were you? Why is it showing me the market cap and not price? Regular percent, labels, countdown, plus. I don't know why it's doing that. We'll figure it out later. Yeah. Anyway. So that's the deal with the Star Atlas story. I'm not one calling it a scam. I'm saying they're trying. I'm saying there's a risk of failure because I don't know what their funding model is, if it's going to work out or not. But that's their story. Oh, and we're supposed to talk about this yesterday too. You were addicted to the podcast. Oh. So I guess you don't watch it anymore though. VCs were selling people living holding bags. Always the risk, Nick. You're right. So if there is, I mean, there is an Atlas token they have. There's it's so complicated. It's a really complicated story because on top of the game itself, right? They have their native in-game currency, but their native in-game, it's like UECs in Star Citizen, but their native in-game currency is also a traded currency on the crypto world. Now, there can be manipulation of the currency in-game, which affects out-of-game, or there could be manipulation out the game, which affects in the game. I think that's a very, very complicated economic model. We know that in EVE Online, for example, there's an actual economist that works at EVE full-time to manage the economy in-game. Can you imagine if not only you have to worry about the in-game economy of a complicated game, but how that interacts with an actual economy on the outside? Because if people want to sell the Atlas token in real life and get money, it affects the value of the token in the game too. I don't know. I feel it's a very, very complicated equation. I don't know if people follow that much, but there's always the risk that the currency is manipulated from the outside, making your in-game value of your ship, which you might have paid $1,000 for in real life, go down to $10. And nobody wants to spend money buying a ship for $1,000, which drops to $10 in real life, which is an issue they have also. We know, at least in Star Citizen, that if you're buying yourself a Idris or whatever it is, that price is there. That's $1,000 or the $890 you're buying for $890. That's the price. The price isn't going to fluctuate. Right? It's not going to go up and down. I'm actually fascinated by that. I'm very curious to see it play out. And that's a story about that. So where were we? Now, yes. Oh, we're going to talk about that. And where are we now? 22 hours? We have 22 hours to kill. We're just going to stream the whole way through. Star Citizen has a vision. Chris has those guys. Looks like they just want to get the hype train. Phobos, I think. Chris. So it's a fairly standard model, which is, what did those guys do? Can I replicate that? And that's what they did. They watched what Chris Roberts does. See you in 13 hours. All right, Xavier. Catch you later. Thanks for dropping by. They said, we're going to follow Chris Roberts' model and replicate that. So that is their vision. Chris Roberts' vision is their vision. They're just modifying it. I mean, they don't have to bother working on a game engine. No official video from CIG? I don't think we saw one yet. Hey, I'm online. Sweet. Star Schmidt is in. Board Gamer's got a video out. There's a ton of new features. Are there a ton of new features? I mean, we saw the... What's that? Is that a ton of features? Actually, maybe we'll do that now. I mean, we could just watch Board Gamers video or just read this. What do you guys want to do? PTU patch, yeah. I do think they dropped the PTU patch just to make sure everything's working fine, then it goes live tomorrow, right? That's pretty much how they've been doing things. Anything new? No. Last video 5 days ago. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that, see if anything comes out. Nothing yet. But while we're here, might as well just take a look at the 3.21.1 in PTU. We have coming Ship Trespass, new missions, Data Heist, the Crusader Seal. No, this isn't new. We're there already. Replication Layer? What's the date on this? Oh, this is old. Why the hell? What? Why is it there? I thought that was new. Pretty sure I saw a new one. Let's see. De Gunter, good morning. They'll do a preview of some stuff for IAE today in Stoston, inside Stoston. All right. I don't know how much preview they want to give us. I mean, it's all... We've seen the ships. There might be a surprise concept ship, maybe. But, yeah, exactly, Tech. 15 days ago, it's old. Welcome to Star Citizen. I thought I saw a newer one. Let me check. Advanced research. No, that is the most recent one. Is it? I guess so. I mean, it's 15 days old. But, I mean, let's check what's happening in 3.2.2. Okay. I guess that is the latest one. Replication layer in 3.21.x in 3.2.2. Player hair update. Exciting. That is good. I'm excited to see the new buzzed haircuts. Salvage structural. Inventory cargo containers. Important. Santok Yai is due. Good. The Origin X1. The X1 Velocity and the Force. Yeah, I gotta buy one of those to fit inside my 400. Assuming that is the ship which is supposed to fit in there properly, right? How come my chats don't show up on YouTube? They don't? Good question. Scape, what's up? Good morning. Evening cultured swines. Scape, you don't get to insult my chat. I am the only one who can insult my chat. Can we get that straight? Guardian Pyro, hello. Keep talking about the 400i, might end up buying one. Vertice, don't feel the pressure. I don't think the 400i is for everyone. I just like the ship because I feel it's just the right size for my personal needs. I don't like them too big. I don't like them too small, but it just does everything that I needed it to do. Yeah. Sorsau, I don't know why your chats wouldn't come up in YouTube. I'm watching the YouTube chat. It looks okay to me. What is my major gameplay loop? EB, I get up in the morning and I start talking to people about what they are doing. And I tell them to do the things that they want to do. That's basically it. But I am interested in the bounty hunter loop, not the shooting of ships, but the capturing of individuals. Data running, bounty hunter. Well, I'm shooting ships too. Bounty hunting. The mining and the salvage, not so much. I haven't gotten too much into that, but I've enjoyed cargo running. I've enjoyed the bounties, the current ones, and I think I'll like data running. I don't know. Obviously, the exploration when that comes out. I think the idea of just a quiet evening when you just want to chill, just pick a direction and just go and scan a nebula or something, that kind of thing. That kind of is fun sometimes, in moderation, right? Bounty hunt with an Idris. Yeah, That's going to make the bounty. Well, actually, I do bounty hunt with the torpedo ship once in a while, right? Just sit back there and just lob a torpedo at your target and get it killed. That's kind of boring, but I think it's fun. I think the game loops, which will actually keep me entertained, are actually not in the game yet, right? The exploration thing I think will be fun. Even going out with like 5 or 6 other buddies, taking a support ship, an exploration ship, a combat ship, just heading out who knows where, and coming across. Well, first there's always the PvP element of getting to where you need to go with people trying to stop you. But then once you get there, there's PvE, the actual exploration of like landing on some remote moon, going down a cave, finding some rare alien relic. That kind of stuff excites me. I like that. Do I think Star Citizen will get VR support? There is a dev working at CIG who is very, very much into VR, and he said, I've asked multiple times in a couple of years, what is the state of VR, and it's always something that's on the back burner. It's not forgotten, but the truth of the matter is that VR is just not big enough to be a major push to get people in. So if they had to launch Squadron 42 and go, it's also in VR, it's not that it's going to bring in 100,000 more people. Actually, it may at this point. But I think the cost of actually making something VR ready versus the return you get for it, it's not there yet. Once you can buy a headset, a good one. I mean, right now, what's the new Quest going for? 600? 500? I forget. But if it gets to the point where they are priced reasonably, and by reasonably I'm saying around the $300 to $400 mark is a sweet spot, and can run things like it needs to do. We're not talking put a cable in, and then you have to go into your Oculus software and upgrade the software, and then you have to push this button to make that launch Steam VR. Then Steam VR has to connect to that and go through like hoops. If I can just sit down, put on my headset, wirelessly connect automatically to what I'm playing on the screen, you're there. We're there. We're not there yet, but that's where they need to get. VR isn't big enough to be viable. Headsets are way too expensive. Right, KSS. So where we need to be for any AAA game dev to be VR ready is this. It's going to look like this. Hey guys, we're going to go and play some Star Citizen now. I'm just going to put on my headset and off we go. And, all right. Now let's kick it off. We're in the game. Actually, I've got my remote screens. The way I've got this set up, which is very cool. I can't explain because you can't see it. But I've got 3 huge screens all around me. I've got like a virtual office thing going. And they're just massive, like basically floor to ceiling type screens. It's really cool in case you've never tried it. But we're not there. For me to actually play Star Citizen in VR, there's hoops that I don't even understand how to get it running, and it's not that good. But we've seen from the changes they've made, like the interactions, like you push the elevator button and your hand goes up and touches the button, or in ships when you push a button, your hand comes up and flips it up. These small things are very VR friendly. So I do think that at some point in the future we will get there. But we're not there yet, nor do I expect it in the next 5 years, to be honest. It has to be a lot more user-friendly. It's still way, way too complicated. And some people get motion sickness because it isn't good enough yet. Tech, I don't know. Actually, you know what? Maybe. No, actually, no. So the early VR, that like the Developer Kit 1, Developer Kit 2, that stuff, yeah, definitely some motion sickness because of the very bad delay between movement and what you see on the screen, right? The newer headsets, well, this is Quest 2. It's not even the new one. My neighbors who's never tried VR came to try it and put it on, and they went to the VR, what's the welcome thing for VR here called? First Steps. There's an app called First Steps, and it teaches you how to use the controllers and says this is your VR world. They went through that with no motion sickness, and they've never used VR. So I think we're at a point now where the tech is fast enough that you don't get that disorientating motion versus what you see, motion sickness thing. But I think there'll be some people that will get it though. I play DCS in VR. I get sick the first 10 minutes. Get used to it. So, a tip for those of you who do try VR and you do get sick, it is something you have to train your mind for. Your brain has to kind of get into the understanding that while things are moving and your body is standing still, it's okay. You get there. It's weird to explain, but the whole thing with motion sickness is you're moving in VR, but your actual legs aren't moving. Your body's standing still. So your brain is saying, something's wrong here. I think I've been poisoned. Because our lizard brains are not really built for this yet. And so your lizard brain is saying, things are moving, but my leg's not moving. I must be sick. I must be poisoned. And it makes you want to throw up. That you can actually train yourself past. So the way you train yourself is essentially play on VR until you start, not wait until you get sick. When you start kind of sweating, you get that sweaty feeling. Stop there, all right? Come back the next day and you'll realize you can go for a bit longer. And when you start getting the sweats, stop. Next day, come back and go again. And you'll find that from being able to do 5 minutes, you can go 10 minutes. Next day, you go 20 minutes. And now it's a free-for-all. And my kids will go into VR and play whatever game for 1 hour, 2 hours until the battery goes dead with absolutely no problem at all. There's no, their brains have already adjusted to it. Yeah, we need a driver update, Tom. That's exactly it. Frame generation is uploaded with VR because eventually able to lock extremely high frame rate. Right, Mammon. The frame rates also, but the gyros and the frame, it's all come together. I believe Quest 2 over there is pretty much the standard at this point. Anything above it is way, way better. I mean, the new ones are much better too. And frame rates are only improving. Kids adapting to VR. Right, but no, the kids are quick, man. I mean, there's a lot of neuroplasticity in kids there. And they adapt to VR very quick. No problems at all. I mean, I remember what was a game? Mirror's Edge. There's very, very few games that ever made me queasy. In fact, Mirror's Edge is the one and only game that made me queasy. I was playing that, and it was just very smooth the whole time, and I started sweating. I'm like, what's going on? Why am I breaking out in a sweat? And I had to stop playing. Not since then have I had that issue. Until VR, the DK2 kind of made me sick. Yeah, but if you do want to try VR and you do get sick, it's just take a break and come back. You actually do train your brain. You have to be able to basically separate what you're perceiving as reality from the actual reality of you sitting down. And once you've actually accepted that, you're good. Grimhex Mirror Edge gave me vertigo. Oh, so I'm not the only one. Okay, good. Yeah, but what an amazing game that was, right? Don't think it's a frame rate, it's a brain thing. Yeah, it is. Look, the frames are fine. It's not terrible. I mean, it can always be better. We need faster frame rates in all VR, no doubt about it. But it's essentially just getting your brain used to the idea that it's okay for you to be sitting still. But in fact, one interesting recommendation I got from someone who was suffering with VR sickness is when you're standing and playing and you're walking forward, move your legs and arms. I mean, just walk in place. All right? As you're walking forward in the game, walk in place. Didn't work? Yeah. Because your brain is, okay, I'm still moving. It's kind of tricking it, but there is definitely a challenge there to get your brain to understand how to work correctly. Oh, and there's this tweet. This is, I think this is fake news. Chat. There we go. Try the moving the arm side. Yeah. Sarsour. So when you're walking, use your arms, right? And if you're turning, instead of using the turn or thumbstick, actually turn physically if that's the game you're playing. Some people said that worked for them. I didn't. I was never so bad. I needed it to work for me. So here's something interesting. Every IAE, we always get a dose of Jax McCleary, but this is I think this is fake news. No ways he's a no-show. Absolutely not. I don't see it. It's the only reason we watch the videos to see what he's saying, right? So, as you know, Whitley's guide is on hiatus for this year's IAE, and our attempts to reach you have been unsuccessful. Oh, this is a letter to him. Despite the uncertainty regarding your location, issues with contracts, extradition, and other matters too sensitive to publicize, we hope you're staying safe, whatever activities you may be engaged in. For those who are just following for the first time, there's an ongoing kind of mini-series. It's kind of funny. This guy named Jax, who ships out. It's the Star Citizen equivalent of that show. Oh, God. What's the show called? I slipped my mind. What's the British show? Don't tell me. Top Gear. It came to me. I said it before you guys wrote it because I remembered. So it's Star Citizen has their own kind of version of Top Gear, which is hilarious. And Jax is like the lead character of that. It ended off with him taking a exploration ship last time called the Odyssey to the Pyro system, where he's kind of disappeared. And he's trying to make his way back to the Stanton system, which is where we've left off. He was rescued recently by Jimmy, and that's where we left off. So now we have a letter saying, in the event of this transmission hits the right comms arrays you're reading this, please reach out so we can discuss the future of Whitley's guide. This is the thing he hosts. While it's too late to take on this big year's event, let's discuss next year. So does this mean he's not going to be making it? We want it and people to want it too. Please take a moment and let's chart the course of the next chapter of Whitley's guide. The galaxy awaits. So I think this is a tease that he is not there yet. He's not in Stanton. But here's my prediction, all right? He and Jimmy are still in Pyro, and they're going to be fighting their way out to the jump point. And today's episode, or tomorrow's episode, they're hit by solar flare. Right, thank you. That's correct. He's going to crash the show just Cyberwolf, you may be onto it. They may be trying to do a kind of a Whitley's guide without him or Jimmy, and they're going to be arriving in a half-destroyed ship and just crash right onto the scene. That could be it. They definitely will show up. I think I love this. This is hilarious. This is great. In memoriam. It definitely will show up. But I love the way they just get that ahead of time. Oh, I wanted to welcome. Several of you had joined over the last couple of weeks of me streaming, saying things like, hey, I watched Montoya stream, and I've decided to join. And I think Montoya sucks as a streamer. He's so horrible. I'm joining the org just to tell him how horrible he is. I appreciate both of that. So, to Borealis Glacialius, No Reki, Riders, Fifth, Chaos Legend. Why so many redacted and hidden ones? Of course, you guys know that if I log in, I can see exactly who that is, right? Don't think you hiding it will hide anything at all. I guess these guys are just basically embarrassed to be part of test. Is that what it is? We'll go expose them in the next video. I can't choose. License it. I recognize some of these names. Rude LaRude, Commander Blaster, Xanus, Bobby Doggy, O'Calgan, Sunday 1234, because Sunday 123 was taken, unfortunately. Test Tank, got test in the name. Guapa, Wolf Iron Fire, all very powerful words to make one name. Thank you all for joining, much appreciated, and I look forward to seeing you guys around. What's up with the new starter ship? Neither. This was going to be the topic of the video yesterday, and we don't have anything new on it, but I wanted to make a YouTube clip out of it and get around that. So it's a small alien ship. We're all embarrassed to be part of test. You gotta embrace the embarrassment. Exactly right. Yeah. It is the best squared on. KSS got it right. Yeah. Meat for the grinder. Speaking of grinder. No, I think I can't go back and talk about the alien ship again, and we've talked about all we can with it. There's nothing else to discuss on that, right? Athy! Just in time. We're going to look over a ton of new major features. Hello and welcome. Just in time. All right. Courtesy of our favorite White Knight board gamer, CIG Employee of the Month. There are a ton of new features in 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. Let's go.
More Star Citizen. Star Citizen Alpha 3.21.1 is on the Open PTU, so it's in open testing. Anyone can try it as long as you've got a game package, I believe. And CIG have been testing a ton of new content, including the expo halls for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo.
MDK 1 and 2 are awesome.
Microtech, as well as a ton of other new content in this patch. And I'm going to talk about what's happened throughout this PTU cycle, what's been updated, what new features we've got, as this patch is about to go live within the next few days. So let's talk about those 3.21.1 features and additions that have been made and tweaked during that PTU phase, and the massive update to the Siege of Orison and AI. The Crusader C1 Spirit and Argo SRV ships have both been added to the game, and both those ships have tractor beams. The SRV is basically just a giant tractor beam, but tractor beams, ship-scale tractor beams, are one of the major features of this patch. So various ships now have their tractor beams operable.
Now that the Argo SRV is in, what, and you guys have been playing around with it, what is the game loop? Right? He's typing your pin code. I don't know why your pin code isn't the one we all use, which is the same as my luggage code. How often do you think you are going to use your Argo SRV? What is the main purpose you see for it? I mean, the idea of a space tow truck made sense if you're running out of fuel. Like, oh, out of fuel, we need a tow, or, you know, my engines are down, we need a tow. But I don't know. Between getting towed and all the time to get somewhere versus just self-destructing and reappearing and just getting your ship back from a terminal. I use the Argo to SUV in a bigger ship. Can't tow salvage contracts, can't tow the unpretty. If someone has soft death on the ship, they can have it towed restored to working order. Okay. So I'm wondering about the economics of it in the game. Is it worth your while to tow your ship across the system to repair it, or just it's a loss and just do an insurance claim? But then if you have LTI, do you even care about that? Recover salvage from hotspots? Okay. Are you able to tow wrecks and sell them at stations? No. I mean, that would make sense if you can just tow an entire wreck and drop it at a junkyard. Maybe that's where they're going. Like if you found a whole starfare and saying, tow it from here to here, and there's pirates and all things to get through, and you get paid 150,000, 200,000 UEC for a large ship, which they scrap. With tow, you won't waste your stuff in the cargo hold. Like those dudes who ninja loot wrecks near low-sec gates in Eve. Right. I mean, I understand the idea behind it. I'm just curious to know how often this will be used in the game. Because, I mean, they're just going to toss a whole bunch in the game, and what people decide to do with it at the end is like, you know, will this be a popular loop? Anyone seen Grey-Headed Gamer lately? Good question, Mike. Can't say I have. test digestive enzymes. Gotta take it in the morning, right? My digestive health is excellent. Perhaps the same way there are mining ships, refining ships, to be towing ships, and salvage ships, a similar relationship. Interesting. Actually, I like the idea of basically grabbing entire ships and dropping them off at some location, and you get paid per weight. Maybe the larger the ship, the more you get paid. That'll be an easy way to make this game loop work. Surge, no, it's just stool stuff, no? It's basically, if you have trouble with heartburn, enzymes work. Did you miss the whole talk about that? Like towing an asteroid. Oh, yeah. I saw a grey-haired game a month ago and a bit think he has work issues, no time to stream. Yeah, that happens. Life happens. So, no, God, okay. I'm not taking my my vitamins in front of you guys anymore.
Remote turrets and the co-pilot seat there, although some ships...
Alright, fine,
like
it's
the
stool stuff now. You happy now? Because hanging out with you guys makes me constipated. That's why I take it.
15P and the Vulture have pilot-controlled beams. Ships can be towed by the Argo SRV, even through quantum travel. The tractor beam updates and fixes are still ongoing. There is still a lot of silly things you can do with tractor beams, but that's one of the reasons that Star Citizen's an alpha, and this is very much in PTU testing. They're trying to get through a load of the most egregious exploits and bugs.
Thank you, Mammon. See, I knew I'd be happy to see Mammon show up and suck him back into his Twitch addiction. Mammon is the only person who really understands me because he's been here the longest, before all of you. And so when he says something, listen to what he says, alright? Athy. Oh, Ninja Girl saw your box wine. She approves of your box wine, by the way. She loves it.
With tractor beams before they put them into the live build. Ships and vehicles can only be tractored if their shields are down, and potentially it's a aggressive action and legal action to do this to a ship that you are not already hostile with or isn't in your party. Turning shields on while the ship is being tractored will break the beam. Players whose vehicle is being towed by a non-party member will be given a prompt to be able to press charges against the person that's towing if they wish to. I believe this is a temporary solution until they come up with a more elegant solution.
So you can press charges and the person towing your ship will get a crime stat? Is that what they're saying?
Different ships and beams have different min and max distances. This allows some ships to manage their cargo by dragging boxes and vehicles into their cargo bay and sort of moving it around. Others aren't so lucky
Mike,
because they have a minimum range that doesn't work very well with them. They've also temporarily updated salvage mission ships to not be tractorable. I think that's still a thing. Let's see if that actually gets changed before live. They've implemented a new dedicated tractor beam UI. They've added target distance indicators to that and
Stim,
range
what's
bar.
up?
There is going to be a new dedicated FPS tractor beam as well. I have not seen it or used it yet, but obviously it's just a bigger version of what you have with the mod.
I'm watching Board Gamer and I want to basically reach his level of white knightness. And so if I just grab footage of me flying over the terrain and I talk over it, I mean, is this market saturated? Can I do what he does? Good to see you too, Stem. What's up with you these days? We haven't caught up in a long time. I want to do what Board does. Well, I spoke with my wife about getting that 20-year-old Swedish intern. She was for it, so I'm concerned now.
Tool. There is a myriad of other features as well in the patch. Ship trespass. So players that are on a ship that they do not own will be considered trespassers if it's another person's ship. This means the crew can attack them without risking a criminal rating.
I've got to be
and
positive.
Also stow away.
I got to work on that. I mean, I'm known for my overall negativity about Star Citizen, right? I specified female EB, which is even more concerning now. Because I can't compete with a 20-year-old Swedish female. There's no ways.
will no longer show on the comms channel for the ship, so you'll have to go, hang on, is that person supposed to be on the ship?
Yeah, Serge,
But yeah, you can
look,
deal with them free.
If you like board content, then you should support NordVPN with his code. Thanatos, new sub. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I'm loving my new alerts. Black and yellow. Those are awesome. Did I hit my... Oh, thank you for the Bezos bucks. I think I hit my sub-target. Yeah, we're over it. Damn. So this is what it feels like to be big time, right? But definitely do, if someone does use NordVPN, be sure to go use board code. If you haven't already used it, might as well use his code and get that too. Support your local Star Citizen content creators. This is a tough gig in a very niche industry, and they definitely will support or be very grateful for any support they do get, whether YouTube or Twitch. I'm not talking for me, because you guys are here already, but everyone else too. We have to come together. And Athy, 1 bit. What the hell's a bit? What is a bit? I don't know. What is 1 bit? No, I appreciate that. Is there a monetary value to 1 bit? What is it? I'm curious. I don't know.
Really, without getting a criminal rating, and you can even chase them back to their own ship, as there's a timer that sort of degrades after they've left your ship, where you can still attack
100
them.
bits
Players
is
kicked from
$1. A penny. Oh. Every penny counts. Thanks, Athy. That's awesome.
Party still have the rights to be on a ship until they leave or they attack another crew member. New Babbage is set up for the tutorial and updated for the new player experience, which makes sense because that's the place where they're going to have the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. The landing zone has had an update pass, improving signage and movement around the area.
It's a 1 or 0.
There's also been a lighting polish pass, things like that. Various points of interest have had polish passes, from eliminating strong glare around the major landing zones in Area 18 to just general little passes trying to improve them. They've updated ground radar stuff, so different radars can see ground vehicles from different
radars
ranges.
Can see different ground vehicles from different ranges. How do you know which radar is in use? Is there something... I guess my question is this: when you're doing a mission and you're taking a ground vehicle... Tech Predator with 2 bits. Guys, we're on fire. I'm going to take your 3 American cents and go buy myself some Timbits. Black Jim Hunk saying, I have a question for you. What price was the Banu Merchantman when it came out? What price was the 890 when it came out? The Banu Merchantman was listed as a blockade runner, and the 890 Jump was a luxury muscle exploration yacht, yet the BMM is a slap in the face to the 890 early backers. Interesting. It's not the first time I've heard that. I've heard people say that the Banu Merchantman being fancier. Am I on the right train of thought here? Because it looks more extravagant, then the 890 Jump people should be insulted? Because I don't see that. I don't feel that. I don't think that. The Banu Merchantman was 260, 250. Thank you, Patrick. 250. And the 890 Jump was 600, I believe. Now, the Banu Merchantman is bigger, or as big as the 890 Jump, but a lot more extravagant. It's got a lot of fancy artwork inside. It looks like a very fancy ship. Is anyone here insulted by that? The Bad Dagu, new follower, welcome. Thanks for following. Is anyone here insulted by the fact that the Banu Merchantman looks fancier than the 890 Jump? As the owner of both, I'm not. I couldn't give 2 shits. I don't care. They are 2 different ships. If you like the look of the 890, that's the 890. If you like the look of the BMM, I'll be perfectly honest. I prefer the look of the 890. The aesthetic of it is just what I prefer. If the Banu Merchantman comes out and goes, this is your gold-plated captain's quarters with gold trim, like, okay, all right, if you say so. I still like the 890. Serge saying he likes BBC. Okay. Serge, this is a family-friendly channel. Oh, BBW. That's all. Still family channel. The Merchantman is just new as people want it more. I hear what you're saying there, guys. I hear it. I just don't agree with that. I don't feel that any ship release is a slap or an insult to someone who had a previous ship that does something similar. At the end of the day, here's my train of thought. It comes down to the aesthetic of it. If you want to go down to the shields and the weapons, and this one has 3 flaws but has 2 flaws, and this one has longer range, and this one has more of a stealthy profile, that's fine. I guarantee you, end of the day, where you will get to is what looks prettier to you versus what it actually does. If you think about it, when you get to end game, in whatever game you're playing, there's a certain armor set you like. Now, this armor set may have better stats, but this one has a pink kitten on it. You'll take the one with the pink kitten because you like that. It'll come down to aesthetics and less about the stats. So, like, I have the 400i, even though I think the Corsair is a better ship, right? Better weapons. You can fit more stuff in it. I'll still fly the... Actually, I like the Corsair. I don't feel the Corsair is a slap in the face to 400i owners, right? But I see where you're coming from on that. I just don't... Personally, I don't agree. If they release another capital ship today, which is Idris priced, but better than the Idris, I don't feel it's a slap in the face of Idris owners. If you like the look of the Idris, then keep the Idris. If you don't like it, just get something else. I don't feel you have to be married to it. Maybe is that it? Do you guys feel that if you bought something, you have to be married to it? Don't you think the Corsair will have more issues because it's a Drake? It's supposed to, Stim. Of course. Why not? It's supposed to have more issues. I don't know. I just don't take that stuff personally. I don't care. If I like the way it looks, I like the way it looks. I'll just fly it. And right, you're not married to it. If you bought the 890 Jump and it turns out that the Banu Merchantman is better and bigger and fancier and has more gold, then just get rid of your 890 Jump. If you feel you were tricked or manipulated or they've abused your trust, I can think of a different example. Like the F8 Lightning came out as a heavy fighter. If you owned a different heavy fighter, like the Hurricane, and now you felt that the F8C is better than your Hurricane, and they tricked you into buying it, I'm trying to understand the train of thought. Am I on the right track? The Banu Merchantman exploration, better exploration ship than any Jump, was sold as an exploration ship. But how do we know that? How do we know it's a better exploration ship? What do you mean it's better? In what sense? Because we haven't flown it. It has better scanners, longer range, better with fuel. Cargo, yes. But look, there'll be balance. Whatever they come out with, they will fine-tune the balance of it. For example, there'll be a mission, and this mission is going to pay 5 million UAC, and the mission is a diplomat from the UAE needs to be transported to whatever system, but they will only ride in an 890 Jump. That is the only ship that they will ride in. They will make the 890 Jump worth something. Now, you can't use your Banu Merchantman for that trip. You have to use it. You have to use it for that. So they will give you a role for the ship for its intended use. Banu Merchantman was a trading ship with a store, a blockade runner. Yeah, look, I think the whole blockade runner thing is out. It's not going to be that. It's a flying bazaar, right? With a mall inside it. But whatever it is, yeah, look, CIG will make mistakes. CIG will mess up. And at such time where they mess up and people complain, they will fix. At least we hope they will. But personally, I don't feel insulted by anything. Is that because I'm just too old and I stopped caring? Is that what it is? That's possible. Is that an age thing? Maybe. All I care about is this game coming out at this point. I think way too many people get caught up in the minutia of nonsense. Of this ship is doing what that ship is supposed to do. And this paint, they promised us the paint. Where the hex codes? Like, guys, like, forget about that crap. I just want to get this game out. Let them get the damn game out. and then let's balance it from there. Yeah, I'm just an angry old man shaking fists at cloud type thing, right? I feel more insulted and get my masks. Yeah, but I understand the anger that someone might get. Like if you bought, for example, all right, we have the alien ship coming out next. What's it called? The Soylent Green, which is a starter alien ship. Now let's say there's going to be a fancy ad for it. They go, here's your fancy alien ship, and it's better than the other starter ships because it does this and this. And then next week, there's another alien ship, cheaper, that is better. All right. Will you feel as if you were tricked or insulted? I think some people will. I'll go, oh, okay, that's cool. I'll just melt the one I have and buy the next one. That's all I'll do. But I can understand how some people might get upset. Yeah, it's called Soylent Green. That is the correct... We had alien linguist, a very cunning linguist came in here, and he explained it's pronounced Soylent. You challenge my knowledge of the Xion language. You know how good I am with languages, right? Guys, double check me on that. It is Soylent, right? I don't want to look stupid in front of Stim. Anyway, back to some ASMR. Oh, it feels so good. You like that? You want more of that, chat? Toss me more bits. For every bit I get, I'll rub my head for you. Soylent will come out. 322 will have Santok Yai. Yeah, you know what? The Santok Yai is a good example of that too. It's a medium fighter. Now, if it comes out being more beefy and better than other medium fighters, people will be upset. But if that's the case, well, honestly, I'm kind of over that design. The Car2L threw me off. I love the Car2L, but then you lose an engine and you've basically lost the ship. So I'm not so hot on the Santok Yai because if they have the same issue where you lose an engine and your ship's useless, that kind of turned me off from that story. But we'll see. Stim, you appreciate my head. I know you do. People get upset when they advertise a ship that punches above its weight class. XYZ features. Right, but we know at this point every ship they release punches above its weight class. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that when a Santok Yai will come out, it will be OP. It will destroy everything in the class. It's going to kill light fighters. At that point, the PvP guys will cry like, it shot my my arrow, it shot my gladius. And then they'll nerf it down and go, we'll change the rotational speeds and maybe reduce the rate of fire, or projectile speed will slow down. Like, is that even a shock to anyone at this point in time? We know that's how it works. Fury's the same way. The Fury gets a pass, all right? The Fury in PvP will demolish everything, but it's a glass cannon. I like that balance. So if you're a really, really good pilot, and you take out a Fury, like, you're untouchable almost. But you take one shot, you're out. So I do like that balance. Take the Fury on this side and take the F8 up there, where F8 can take tons of hits, right? But it's a lot slower. That sort of balancing, I'm a big fan of. You can turn off individual thrusters. It'll balance out. What? Jangmo's making stuff up. That's nonsense. So why can't the Odyssey be better than the Carrick? Own both, by the way. Actually, Black Dream Hunk, you raise a wonderful point. Odyssey versus Carrick. Carrick's supposed to be the exploration ship, right? Iogic Pro, new follower. Welcome. We're just discussing people getting offended by one ship being released that is better than the previous generation of a ship that's something similar. Look, the Carrick, does the Carrick have the actual shields? The Carrick has those shields come over the cockpit, right? It's shielded. I think the Carrick is going to have some advantages in systems like Pyro, for example, where you can be better protected from solar flares, where the Odyssey might not have that, but then the Odyssey has the refinery on it. So there's balance. There's going to be balance between it, but there's no doubt that if you want exploration, you don't need both. I don't think you need both. When exploration comes out, you will find yourself gravitating towards one ship more than another. But the problem we have right now in Star Citizen is we don't know. So if you want to do exploration, what is a better ship? Is it the Odyssey, which we don't have yet? Or is it the Carrick, which we have and we know what it does? We're going to just basically need time in the ships to figure out. Stim. Despite later nerfing for balance, do you think there's power creep over time with new ships coming out these days? Absolutely, I do, Stim. And we all know why there's power creep in the new ships, because there's no way in hell they can sell us a new ship that is worse than an existing ship. So every new ship coming out, maybe this is a shock or surprise to some people, but every new ship coming out is going to be better than something in the same class. Just watch, tomorrow, the new alien ship is coming out. It's small, we're assuming it's a starter ship. I guarantee you this new alien ship is going to be better than the Cutter, than the Aurora, than the Mustang. It's if it's a $100 ship, then what's a comparable $100 ship? The Nomad? The Penguin? It'll be better than anything in that class, because you cannot sell a new ship which is worse than something that came before it. It's just the way it is. I'm not shocked or surprised by that. Look, see this new guy, Iogic Pro, he joined. Look what nice things he goes, thank you for the warm welcome. You bunch of nitwits never say that. Why do I need to have new people coming in to be nice? All right? This community is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Thank you, Iogic Pro. I appreciate your kindness. May others learn from your example. Coffee Gaming, hello. Welcome. Death Factor saying, we just don't know where exploration is. Correct. There might be certain systems where the Carrick is superior. There might be... Well, see, the Carrick was a very early design. And as the game has advanced, the Odyssey is an exploration ship which they have now made. It's a newer generation of ship, right? Refining capacity on capabilities on board is probably very important when it comes to exploration. Will the Carrick maybe have some sort of modules that allow to that? Maybe. The Carrick owner's crying about the Odyssey. Right. I know my chat's a bit behind. Let me scroll down, get down there. Ideas evolve, so designs. Yes, thank you, Tech. So, no, chat, you're on it. Like, chat is mostly on the ball. The ships which are coming out now are the newer generation ships. CIG is a lot more understanding of where the game is and what they want people to do in the game. So when they release a ship now and it's got all these cool features in it, it's because this is how they see it being used. Before, when the Carrick was announced, they didn't have a clue what exploration was. I mean, they had some idea. But we're very way beyond where that is, right? Pizza Chef being sarcastic. Thanks for the awesome stream. We learned many things. I don't need your sarcasm, Pizza Chef. But people are focused on stats. Yes, Decal Reno, absolutely yes. We all love to min-max. I still do it. You still do it. But as we get to end game, and I know this sounds rich because we haven't actually had a game, but as we get into the game, we care less about, oh, it has a size shield smaller. Oh, this one has an extra gun, that one doesn't. And more about, what's the ship you're just used to flying? I like flying this one, but that one's better. It doesn't matter. I like flying this one. I've got my armory set up in there. I'm just going to fly that one. Because you'll never get the perfect ship for every situation. And that's fine. You don't need to. Banner Merchantman is listed as transport ship, and the 890 Jump is exploration touring ship. So why have categories if the BMM is better than the 890 Jump? Great question, Black Dream Hunk. And again, they'll sort it out. I mean, I think CIG tossed out a lot of terms, tossed out a lot of ideas, and as we get to an actual... Oh, thanks for the bit. The bad Dagu. 1 cent. And now I'll rub my head for you. Is that what you wanted? You sick bastard. Is that what you wanted? Is that what turns you on? Bunch of weirdos. Yeah. The perfect ship for every situation is the Cutlass. I don't disagree. The Cutlass does a bit of everything great. I like it. Yeah. And Twin City Jeff has got a great suggestion. He goes, just buy everything. Like, well, are you people poor? Just buy all the ships. Easy as that. My OnlyFans. Yeah, Stim, I can't. I'm overextended with my OnlyFans also. Was OnlyFans or Twitch? I had to choose one or the other. Volkswagen and Porsche. Both are cars, both have an engine, both can do groceries, and yet one is a luxury car. Actually, isn't Porsche Volkswagen the same thing now? I mean, if you take a look, you guys who have Porsches, open up the engine, take a look, and it's a Volkswagen engine in there, right? In terms of service. Cutlass runs out of fuel. The Cutlass, well, you know what? I love the Cutlass, but I just upgraded the Cutlass. I used my one account to get the Spirit. And I just upgraded that Spirit to get the Zeus. So my Cutlass is out now, and now it's the Zeus Bounty Hunter one as the daily driver on my one account. So the Cutlass served its purpose, but I think it's an all-round, very early and excellent ship. Ochiadi, new follower, thank you for following. A very in-depth... Oh, we were doing something else completely. You guys are keeping distracted. We were watching Board Gamer. Yeah, so I was just saying, guys, support your content creators in Star Citizen. We started the stream talking about Bad News Baron, who was a prolific and very talented content creator. But the niche he picked, which was Star Citizen, was tough, and he's kind of disappeared off. Captain Richard is kind of doing other games right now also. So I do encourage all of you that do love Star Citizen, go to Twitch and to YouTube and see who you like and toss them some support, because this is still, even with the numbers around, is a very, very niche field in terms of gaming. And I know those guys would love your support. Continuing with Board Gamer.
This includes a full balance pass on ground vehicle emissions, and ground vehicles can missile lock other ground vehicles now, which is actually pretty important. As part of the PTU cycle, they then increased the ground vehicle emissions and reduced the ground sensitivity on all ship radars, so overall distance is unaffected for ships, but will allow ground vehicles to see each other from further away. Vehicle headlight refactor has been done, giving a more consistent look for headlights and ranges.
Vehicle headlight refactor. I don't know if you guys ever used the Cartuel. But if you were ever at Jumptown or any place which needed illumination and it's dark, ask your buddy to bring out the Cartuel. What's up, Artemis? Welcome. You're late today. Is there a IAE trailer dropping today? I would think so. They usually did have one the day before, right? I got news for Bad News Baron. I was in his guild. He's actually working for NASA right now. Yes, because he was on the live stream for was it SpaceX? He was handling live stream for that. Black Dream Hunk with $1. Thank you. I know the exchange now, so I understand what bits are, because I'm growing, right? Thanks, Black Dream Hunk. So I don't think he's a NASA employee, but more he does like the live streams for them, because he was on that. When they launched the rocket, we saw him come up like, yeah, it's Bad News Baron. And that was exciting stuff. So I guess he hasn't really left the... he works for NASA Space Flight. All right. So it's the NASA Space Flight is the what? It's like the social media? Because it's not really NASA itself. Like, he's not a government employee, right? But I guess it's related. It's the YouTube channel. Right, right. We should go check that out. Oh, we'll never get through Board Gamer's video. NASA Space Flight. Does he do all the launches, or was just there was one he did a while ago? So is he one of these guys that show up 2 hours ago?
Starship is go
for show up. What is this channel? That's not him. They have merch. Is this NASA related? I'm confused. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Another Falcon 9 lifted off on November 12th at...
This channel, right? He's in every one. I'm trying to understand the relationship now. Is NASA Space Flight related to actual NASA itself? Where's the about section? NASA Space is not affiliated and doesn't represent national. Okay, there we go. NASA initials NASA's permission. Now to 17th year of operations. The NSF is radio news resource for everyone. Okay, so it's a news site supplying a readership with latest news around the clock. Oh, I don't know why I thought it was actual NASA related. But they are kind of affiliated, right? No affiliation, no connection at all. So it's just a channel that goes, hey, we're just named NASA Spaceflight and we're going to follow your stuff, and that's it. Interesting. Interesting niche.
Starship
so I
is
guess
go
NASA
from
itself doesn't have to worry about social media. Curious. 800,000 subscribers. Decent views. Interesting. Interesting niche. Huh. Yeah, I just assumed they were related. Very curious, yeah. STEM. This can work for any industry. I'm going to start a NVIDIA fan webs. Actually, that exists. There's plenty of those already. I'm going to start a Star Citizen channel. I'm going to start a YouTube Star Citizen channel that's going to talk about things happening in Star Citizen. Like when Star Citizen comes out, I'm going to talk about stuff they do. And if they do an Inside Star Citizen, I'll go and talk about that. Right. No, it's not going to be, I mean, I'll name it Montoya Test. I'll name it something. And I'll basically tell people what CIG is doing. I can do live streams even. I like it. I think this is a good idea. And I'll build a community centered around fans of Star Citizen. Has anyone done this before? Huh. I think we're onto something, guys. Right. I mean, we're testing out this game. So I'm going to call it like testing game, testing Star Citizen, testing Squadron 42, Citizen, test squad. I'm going to call it Test Squadron. I'm onto something. I'm going to start a group called Test Squadron. And then I'm going to talk about things happening in the spaceship game. Guys, we've stumbled onto something. This is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. And you guys were here for the beginning of it, all right? Remember this day. You were here when this kicked off. And the members can be called testies. Oh, I don't know if I like that. That sounds kind of dirty. I'm not sure I like that. You spelt that wrong. The Test Squadron best squared on. You got a spelling mistake, by the way. Are you going to spell squared on correct? Yeah. Listen, guys, I need you to hold the line, as Athy said. Stay on the line. No, my tagline will be, stay on the line. We have excellent ideas here.
See, for ships, the larger the ship, or headlight, the longer the cast distance for that ship. So, size 1, 500 meters, all the way up to size 6, which is 3,000 meters. I believe it's 500 meters. Additionally, 500 meters. The longer the cast ships, the larger has been done, giving a more consistent look for headlights.
There's different class of headlights. What? I guess that makes sense. I mean, your light fighter shouldn't have this giant floodlight, but if you have a reclaimer, it should have some massive light on it. Is that what they're saying there? Or can you change your headlights? When I start the org, people have a Reddit account in good standing. That's Mammon. You know Mammon's been there very long because that's what we did in the beginning. If you want to join, we were originally a Reddit founded org, right? Because there was no forums on CIG. We had no TeamSpeak of our own. We shared TeamSpeak with Test Platoon, which was a PlanetSide 2 group. And so to join Test, the only thing you needed was to have an account on Reddit in good standing with a good amount of karma on it. Things have changed.
The larger
That Dago
the
cheered
ship,
with 50 bits. Thank you very much.
or headlight, the longer the cast distance for that ship.
It's a lot of bits.
Size 1, 500 meters, all the way up to size
Thanks
6.
for dropping in. Catch you later.
Meters. I believe it's 500 meters additionally per size. There's been a ship mass balance pass, at least some of it. So the Nova, Corsair, Vanguard, Caterpillar, Mo, Raft, and Star Runner have all had a balance pass to their actual masses in the universe. Ships are still going through their mass balance passes, and we will see things like atmospheric flight speed adjustments, stuff like that, as they tweak them, and obviously they're going to expand that to everything else eventually. They've increased the speed and torque of the Greycat STV. The Tumbrel Nova has had movement tweaks for its min and max friction and steering stiffness. There's a load of
all these changes they're making to the ground vehicles. They go improved ground vehicle handling. I don't know if it's just me, but I still find them very floaty. Even on a normal gravity moon or planet, it's still like you hit a rock and I feel, okay, we're floating along now. Like I don't feel that really that just go over the rock and go thud. It's like whee, and like you have hang time. Like I feel the hang time is still too long, as if the vehicle doesn't really have weight to it. It's just me.
And AI updates though, and this is one of the sort of major parts of this patch. So CIG have completed the full integration of FPS AI behavior from Squadron 42. These updates that have been polished and worked on outside of Star Citizen release builds until now will vastly improve overall difficulty, reaction times, animations, behaviors, and other traits, and make combat with them much more dangerous but a rewarding
Well,
experience.
they do need to be more weighty. I'm not crazy, right? I just think about driving. Let me think of a vehicle in another game. Far Cry. Like when you get into a vehicle in Far Cry, I don't know why I'm thinking Far Cry. It went on sale the other day, I guess that's why. So, but when you jump into a Jeep or some vehicle in Far Cry and you drive it, to go, yeah, this is what I expect this vehicle to feel like. It's there. It just feels right. But when you get into a vehicle in Star Citizen, it just floats along. I don't know why there's difficulty in making it feel like maybe it should not be sliding so much. Also very slidey, right? Okay, gravity makes a difference. Driving car with other browser games. Yeah, I don't know. What is it? Why do vehicles feel so different in Cry? Is it CryEngine? Is it the way that the engine handles it? Because how difficult is it be to say, okay, this vehicle doesn't slide as much, as to make it just you should have your treads on your tires, unless it's on ice, should stick. Like I shouldn't be able to do 360s on every single surface, right? GTA dev some need from speed. Yeah, look, I'm not going to pretend I understand exactly the complications of the mechanics needed to make a vehicle feel like I think it should feel. Maybe it's my personal preferences also. If you hit a rock at 78, you're flying. Right. It's physics. You know, that's the one not a downside, but Chris Roberts is all about the physics, right? Remember that physicist they hired to control the, what did he do exactly? I forget what he did. But they had an actual physicist who was on call to handle that stuff. The maneuvering thrusters, yeah, I feel that they may have overcomplicated some things in this game which didn't need to be overcomplicated. For example, the hover bikes had all these physics equations to what thruster works at what rate, and why just not make an invisible wheel? Take the hover bike, put a fat invisible wheel underneath it, and there you go. Wouldn't that work also? There are many issues with ground vehicles. Collisions suck. Acceleration too high. Right, exactly. I feel the same way. But my question is, I mean, they're not stupid, Modem Bob, at CIG. What is the problem that they have? Is the physics engine incapable of doing what they needed to do? Why is it so complicated to do what I think should be easy? Right? Like land speed is in A and H. What is A and H? But probably I mean, if you just told me that here's a space motorcycle that floats, but it's actually invisible wheels, I go, well, that's nice. That's fine. But I mean, they didn't go that route. And you hope? Oh, yes. Yeah, exactly. Far Cry's the same engine. Oh, okay, maybe it was an apt comparison then. I feel the vehicles in Far Cry feel pretty good. But I mean, we're so far over basic Cry engine at this point. Right, the hoverbikes feel floaty. Like where's the quantum locking, right? Like quantum lock if you want fancy. Quantum lock when a bike is at this range, it's quantum locked on the ground. Like you're fixed. It should handle more like an actual motorcycle and less like a floaty balloon. Just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Been some erratic bugs and stuff like that with AI throughout Star Citizen and all of its patches, and this one is no different, although they are polishing a lot of this stuff off throughout the PTU cycle. They've also rebalanced defend missions along with adding new AI
AI here,
and traits and balancing the rewards. Defend mission polishing a lot of this Citizen and
so you see,
all of its patches. Erratic
I'm
bugs
thinking
and
this
stuff
is
like that
AI.
with AI throughout Star Citizen and all of its patches.
This guy over here.
This one.
Right? Thanatos says they say specifically they don't want the invisible wheel thing with hoverbikes. Yeah, I understand they want real actual physics controlling things. By going the actual physics route, they are setting it up in a way that I think it makes it less problematic in the future if anything happens in the future, right? But at the same time, it has caused major issues also. So this was cool if you guys caught this. The AI guy here goes and
make
rescues
combat with them much more dangerous,
buddy.
but a rewarding experience.
This guy goes down.
Some erratic bugs and stuff like that with AI throughout
This
Star
guy
Citizen
comes,
and
heals him.
all of its patches, and this one is no different.
Stabs him in the heart
polishing a lot
with
of this stuff
some,
off throughout
what
the
they're called.
PTU cycle. They've
He
also
gets up,
rebalanced defend missions along with adding
grabs
new
a weapon
AI
from a
activities
corpse.
and traits, and
That's his
balancing
weapon
the
there. He
rewards.
grabbed another weapon,
There's
off he
slight
goes.
Increases
Beautiful.
to reputation requirements for the retrieval ops missions. They have rebalanced the cargo amounts and
epinephrine?
types
What'd he give
that
him?
spawn inside derelicts and AI ships in the persistent universe using a new distribution algorithm. Some people are upset about that because they want more loot, and these sort of things seem to nerf loot or make the really sort of rare
Little
loot
Boots
much
followed.
less likely typically.
The hell?
There are new data heist missions. These are
Little Boots. Did you unfollow me so you can follow? I'm pretty sure you followed before. Don't tell me you've been sitting here for like days without having followed. Mods, kick this guy out. Really? Well, thanks for following, I guess. Like, so all I had to do was watch some board gamer streams. Guardian Pyro, thanks for the follow. No, I just assume like if you what? I guess not. That's actually a wrong assumption. I just assume like if someone's chatting, you're talking a lot, that they're probably followed already. But right, there is no actual connection between that. You don't have to be a follower to interact on that. You follow on YouTube. Ah, okay. Maybe that's why. Yeah, welcome to Twitch.
to infiltrate underground facilities or bunkers, hack them or access a terminal there, which you can do with a data chip. You protect the servers after you've hacked them and prevent them from overheating or being destroyed while uploading data, and waves of enemies attack. There have been lots of tweaks and passes for this mission throughout the PTU, but it's looking pretty cool. The underground facilities have also seen ledge cover and navigation improvements as part of a polish pass. The Siege of Orison has been majorly updated and will be running throughout 3.21.1 and in the future beyond that as well. So the Siege now has a warning period for the event. Basically it goes, we're starting in 30 minutes, and Rowena Dooley will say something's going down, and that will allow people to prep and accept the mission, get all ready for it. The lift from Orison to the rooftop.
Sketch, is that true? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a potential announcement. Patch 321.1. No. There's no 322. Such a liar. How do I ban off YouTube? I don't know. I'm too lazy to figure out how to kick you. We'll figure it out later.
sort of access there and get the shuttles there is only going to be enabled when the event starts. All the shuttle call terminals require the lieutenant's code to be input one time to unlock. An example of this would be the shuttle from easy to medium islands.
We have been duped.
The Solenki
Nah, it's okay,
code.
Sketch.
This includes if you've managed to
No,
unlock
322 is not coming out.
medium.
What is the when IAE comes tomorrow? It's 3.21.1x or what is it? What is the patch you're waiting for in live? It's just the 3211. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 322 is, I guess, next month maybe.
Island as
no,
well.
there will be Jax this year. Jangmo. Okay, the tweet was they don't know where he is and they want to keep on doing the show without him, but Jax is trying to get his way back, so you'll see him crash it. Xylo said no Jack. What does Xylo know? So if Xylo says something, you believe him? That's impossible. It's the one time a year we get to... And maybe, you know what? Maybe they're saving Jax for like a Christmas thing. It's possible. You know they've been working on this Jax episode for an entire year now. May I ask why so many streamers put chat into the video? It's difficult to encode text screen. Because I run this on YouTube also. So when there's people watching the replay, they don't understand who I'm talking to or why, right? Because it's not showing up. So if you feel this is bothering you, I could do this, but then I'll just put it right back. So take that, Mammon. It's for the replayability because not everyone watches it live. In fact, majority of my views come from YouTube after it's up already. It'll have like 200-300 views during live, and then we'll go into the thousands range over the next couple of days, so people got to see who I'm interacting with. Yeah. Where was I? Bored? Yeah.
Only one that won't have a code is the broken shuttle from the hard to easy island. The barge now has a container that will prevent people from pushing into the barge.
Boots, not everyone can sit around and watch
becomes unlocked when all the previous
Twitch all day,
bosses
right?
have been completed. There have been changes under the hood to turrets and the way
Need you guys just to calm down
with
with
ships and players. If you take a siege ship out of the area while the event is active, it will activate self-destruct. That player cannot turn that off.
Thanks, Sketch. That's awesome. I appreciate that. You know, I get such wonderful words of encouragement from the new guys and nothing from the old guys. I guess that you haven't been around enough, maybe. No money told Jax, yeah. So I missed everything else said. Go back a second.
Island's bosses have been completed. There have been changes under the hood to turrets and the way the IFI interacts with ships and players. If you take a siege ship out of the area while the event is active, it will activate self-destruct. That player cannot turn that off, but if you get back into the area, that will disable the self-destruct. Once the IFI on the barge is down, players will be free to take ships as the self-destruct will be disabled. If you try and take your own ship into the area, you will be impounded back to the last ATC the player was near. If a player commits a crime or attacks another player on the mission, they will get a marker placed on them, and players still in the mission will be allowed to kill them, deal with them how they want. With this, they will see an objective to do with Ninetales sympathizers and how many have been killed. You will only see...
I've got to play more Siege. The last couple of times I played Siege, the frame rates was horrible. Couldn't even get through it, but we'll get in there. Doing a great job, Montoya. Thanks, Thanatos. Yeah, I don't need compliments or words of encouragement. I'm not some teenage girl. I'm okay, but I appreciate it. The Jimmy cosplay was good, Stim. It was good. I mean, oversized helmet and everything. How was that helmet made? I mean, I'm impressed by the quality of the prints that people are making these days. The Artemex armor was absolutely amazing. Sketch saying, I think I've been watching your videos for 2 years probably. Subscribed a year ago. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Sketch. That's great. Yeah, there's I have a ton of viewers on YouTube. I've never streamed too much live on YouTube, but I'm surprised that the majority of the views are from YouTube. I've never considered YouTube as a live streaming platform, but it's definitely come to its own over the past 2 or 3 years. But there's definitely a lot of big streamers I've seen that are only on YouTube. It's not gaming related, but there's several of the content creators which are in the news field just do it only on YouTube live streams, and it's definitely become a demographic I did not dig too much into. Last I played Siege, there were 10 Ninetales sympathizers. Yeah. Actually, the last time I played Siege was fine. It's just the frame rates got very bad at some point. Stim saying, from one handsome content creator to another, you're a great content creator. Shooting it straight with some laughs is your hallmark. What are you trying to say, Stim? I don't like your sarcasm either, alright? Bastard. Thanks, Stim. I appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job there too. I believe Stim has his own channel. Why don't you give the guy a follow? He definitely does need more arrogant and rude people following him, because his current audience are just very nice and polite. I don't feel it's fair that I get all the bad apples, so spread the love there. This is war. No test allowed. Says Tim. Yeah. No, I don't like, Stim Citizen and the crew there. I don't know. I mean, I'll browse over who's streaming and I see you guys are always on, and I don't know how you go at it for hours. I'll go insane talking about Star Citizen for hours. No offense to those of you who love Star Citizen, but I cannot. I'll pull 2 hours in the morning now. It's my free time and I enjoy doing this now. But I cannot sit and talk Star Citizen for hours on end. I'll go insane. I will scratch my own eyes out before I can spend 5 hours talking about... I've been invited to podcasts. I mean, Stim, you've invited me. I think you have. I've been invited to podcasts. And I go and I watch some first and I go, oh my God, it's like that. They went for 5 hours. I will not do 5 hours of Star Citizen. I was like, yeah, this ship is nice and there's a paint for that one, man, but I will not sit here and talk 5 hours about spaceships. I will die. Slicer, I'm going to go on a podcast and invite you, okay? Your 5 hour streams are 2 hours? All right. If you're looking, I'll do 2 hours. I could possibly do 2 hours. Yeah, I can't do the long ones. But the thing is, when there's 4 or 5 people talking, like everyone wants to get their piece in, and I just go insane. I'm definitely interested in Star Citizen. I love the topic, but I have a limit to how much I can talk about in one day. I'm close to hitting that limit right now. Like, we're gonna move on. All right. Walmart shares slide as retailer gives a cautious outlook for consumer spending. This is very concerning, guys. I don't know if you know, but when people are struggling, when you're tightening your purse strings, Walmart does better. Because instead of going fancy shopping, you go Walmart shopping. But if Walmart is sliding and inflation is high, that's a problem. Athy's on the Walmart site right now. There you go. So it's a very serious economic indicator if Walmart is not doing well. At times when things are tough, that is very dangerous. So welcome to the economic part of my stream. Well, let's just finish the board gamer.
Markers for sympathizers on the same island as you, but it's basically a great way of dealing with PvPers, right? They are here, and you can see them moving around. When you kill the island lieutenants and loot the code, you'll get a marker on potential iffy locations. There are various new audio lines informing you if there are PvPers around, and for general mission progression and updates and reminders. Stability in the last couple of PTUs is a load better, as is performance for me. There is still a load of work that needs to be done. There are a load of known issues as well, from docking ports and collars not working properly, to items floating around stores, to AI falling through floors, and missions not being being acceptable, and even desync in EVA. CIG are pushing to fix as much as possible before 3.21.1 goes live. They need to get into the best state they can ahead of the IAE and that major free fly event. Obviously, performance, stability, and accessibility being the main things they're trying to focus on, because we don't want a state of the game where it is terrible.
Tech? You're in Holland? Are you Dutch? Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. Because there's two things I cannot stand. People who don't respect other people's culture, and the Dutch. I've waited so long. Now finally we can use it. Oh, finally we can use it.
For the new player experience, for people not being able to log in.
Smoking a pancake. We're going to pull it up now. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Get out of a landing zone, for terrible bugs preventing you from moving around the verse, things like that. So hopefully we are in a good state for the live build, and it looks like we might be. You can also expect more ships and vehicles to turn up in this patch, along with the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953 Expo starting Friday the 17th of November.
Did you take out the radish? Did you take out the daikon? I can smell the daikon. It's not me. Ninja Ghost says I smell like radish. That's pretty strong. Yeah, it's not me.
November. Also, just seen in the latest build that I had noticed that the Tumbrel Storm is actually there. I'll be looking at that in a dedicated video. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen Alpha 3.21.1 update and the sort of state of the PTU as it stands at the moment. I'm really interested to know
much appreciated.
what your
We're up
experiences
to
of
speed right
3.21
now. Anything else happening in Star Citizen I should know about? Star Citizen Complete Beginner Guide for 2023. Ambitious. Space Tomato hitting on that. There's always a big... oh, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. So these videos... It's hit or miss when you see content creators go this way, because every now and then a Star Citizen Complete Beginner's Guide for whatever period or whatever year or whatever quarter gets grabbed on by the algorithms, and you just get hundreds of thousands of views, and they take a lot of time to put together. So this is 27 minutes of Space Tomato putting this together 3 weeks ago with 49,000 views. The algos missed it, because this should be up in the hundreds of thousands usually. That's the gamble you take when you put these together usually. Netherlands is full of beautiful cities and towns. Yeah, Amsterdam is beautiful. Haven't made my way there yet, but I do enjoy myself a good stroopwafel. In fact, Tech, if you want me to love you forever, stroopwafels. Good ones. I'll accept them. Official reason Jax is missing. Yeah, what is it? I can't see. It's not giving me access to that. Is it an image? What's that link, Jax? I mean, Stig. Yeah, Moa Dib, you don't want to go to Stim's show, because they're basically all just huge white knights and employees of CIG. CIG pays Stim to basically sit there and just say nice things about Star Citizen. All right? I know these are the rumors, but these rumors are true. In fact, I once got one of Stim's paychecks by mistake. I went to the mail and I go, oh, what's this? And open it up. It was Stim Citizen, $3,800 for the show. I was shocked. And I was kind of upset because I don't get anywhere near that. But they're basically huge shills, just telling you, oh, it's so nice and Star Citizen is great and we should buy ships. And yeah, it's just straight up propaganda, man. Straight up propaganda. I don't know. what you got there. With this guide, as we know, it will not be happening this year, likely because of the the strike. Okay, that's funny. That was funny. Yeah. Athy, big spender today. Another bit. Thank you. Here is your ASMR. Oh, you like that? What's that? You want me to take more digestive enzymes? Oh, wait. Hydroxycut. Hydroxycut. Wait, there's more. Multivitamins from Costco. Oh, yeah. You like that? Athy's all for that. I know she liked it. Eat a pickle. Listen, Hell Region, we have our standards here. I know we may do some pretty crazy stuff, talk about speedos and things like that. Little boots for 2 bits. Oh, guys, I can't thank you enough for the 5 cents you've given me, and I'm going to use that now to go to Costco because we do need to get milk. So your 5 cents is going towards my Costco run. Much appreciated. Every little bit counts. Don't take the hat off again. Serge, shut up. Not everyone can have a hair of head like you, okay? Think you're special because you have hair? Stim, you are an advanced human. You understand, right? But you're loving your new alerts now. I always love my alerts. I turn the sound on because I usually end up ignoring them. Yeah. Walmart order. What'd you get, Athy? Speaking of, it's 20 minutes to lunch.
This guide is meant to teach you everything you need to know to successfully work your way from this little Pisces starter ship to the exploration vessel
Slicer,
it can
big
land
spender,
inside
coming with
of.
100 bits. All right, so I'm gonna go for the 2-pack of mango juice from Costco now. That's what we're doing. Yeah, thanks, Slicer. That got me the 2-pack of mango juice. Oh, in fact, I can't show you my garage. My wife's at Costco, and she goes, "There's a freezer here." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "We need an extra freezer." I go, "Do we?" She goes, "Yes." So she comes home from Costco. Salami, milk, mango juice, protein powder, and a freezer. We're talking like extra freezer for the garage. Yeah, she got it. She's going to Costco run for some food. You come back with a freezer. But I mean, we have the Samsung fridge, the dual door fridge, and the freezer's at the bottom, and it's packed. Like we can't squeeze anything more into it, so we need an extra freezer. Yeah, so you run out of space. I mean, as your kids get hungrier, you got to get bigger freezers, right?
The Carrick. And if you can't afford a ship rental upgrade by the end of this guide, I will personally see that you can if you decide to join our community on Discord. We'll be moving fast and covering a lot today, so if you haven't already got a basic understanding of the game, I'd do some looking around. If you find this helpful though, consider subscribing at the end to catch my other videos, news, updates, and guide.
I have to tell people to subscribe to my channel if they enjoyed the video, in the beginning of the video. That's actually a not bad idea because I just leave it till the end. I say, if you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, but by that point, no one's watching. It's not wrong. Stim Citizen is following. The shit. Bro. You sat there and made me entertain you for like an hour. And then based upon this hour, like, well, I guess I'll follow. Is that it? Is that it? Damn it. Thank you. Well, you know, do I have to ask? I guess so. You know, it's true. I mean, I'll sit and I'll watch some streams. Yeah, he's not wrong. There's plenty of videos where I'll watch and I'll like, oh, that was a good video, I'll move on without bothering to like. I do it myself. There's tons of videos that I just watch, or even Twitch channel. I'll go on And sketch therapy, you need to follow it. Thanks. See, you're right. You have to ask. That's such a stupid thing, but it's true. Because if you don't say it, people just won't do it. I will watch a stream for an hour and just leave it without following. He's not wrong.
It's about Star Citizen. And thank you for coming to my Tomato Talk.
But at the same time, this intro, okay, we're 38 seconds into the video and he's yet to start. There are some videos I go, well, like, I just want to know this thing. And when the guy talking goes, well, welcome to my video. And today I want to thank everyone who's watching because it's been a long journey in getting to this point in time. And before I get to the main topic, I just want to thank all my followers and subscribers for their love and support. And I know I was going through a rough time last month when I cut my hair too short and had to grow out. But your support allowed me to pull, like, no, like, shut up. Like, show me what I want to see already, or I'm leaving. At that point, I would have left. So that's the balance there, right? Because I just jump right into the content because I don't want to sit around and slice a shit with another bit. Thank you. That's just me. So, I mean, this is not bad. It's a 30-second introduction, but are there some people? Stellos followed. I guess so. You have to tell people to follow. Hey, you watching right now without following. Do you understand what it takes me to get up in the morning and do this? The makeup, lipstick. The least you can do is follow. That's why we love Noobifier. Yeah, all the content creators in Star Citizen have done very well as far as it's really high quality content. Not me, but other than the rest of them are good.
So, Star Citizen is a pretty incomplete game. That's important to know because it's gonna lead to a lot of ruined game sessions, unexplained.
Subscribe to Space Tomato comes up in the top there. Do I need these animations? Does seeing that make you want to subscribe to him? Do you need that response? Montoya weighs, yeah. Athy, I think men should wear makeup. I mean, why should you see my imperfect blemishes, right? Think you're the only one who can be pretty? I can be pretty if I wanted. I just don't want to. I'm just tired. Other Star Citizen content creators are talking way too difficult for me. That's why I hang out here. Ik kan een beetje Deutsche praat met u. Kan jij verstaan? Tech?
Roadblocks and very frustrating waits for things to be fixed or implemented. It is still a unique, expansive, and complex experience, though. You have 4 different planets to visit, a dozen moons to explore, dozens of space stations to stop by, and more than 70 completely unique, meticulously detailed spaceships to buy, rent, and rip apart. And keep that in mind, after you spend that initial $45, nothing else is...
Dutch, what's the difference, man? Do you think anyone in chat besides you, Raven, understands the difference between it? Getting called out by the South Africans right away.
Required to be able to buy any ship in the game, given it's been out for a quarter or two. And if you really want, you can always upgrade with real money in the future. An important caveat here, though, is that database wipes will see you needing to earn those ships.
It's just the pronunciation or the tonality of a lot of the words, right? Yeah, it's very similar.
Again while the game is still in alpha. So if there's a wipe at an update, expect to get those ships all over again. So let's start out with your starting location. If you haven't made an account already, you can use a friend's referral code or one of my supporters, which is linked below, to get an extra 5,000 starting credits.
His referral also. I gotta take notes. You know, I haven't used my referral in years. I just feel that there's like the next level I'm getting like a glaive or something, but I have a glaive. But I appreciate the humor of his email address there. I love that you take the accusations and you spin them around to just make fun of them, because the whole scam thing. I have the scam thing on YouTube chat, don't I? Or is it on Twitch? I have a scam. Oh, I do. Here it is. Yeah. Yeah, that is it. Yeah. How do I make it show up? Pin? No. Test? Does it show up? Yeah. Anyway, like the whole scam, Star Citizen scam thing, I think was pretty hilarious for years already. Is that my referral code? Is it? I didn't even know I put that in there. Oh. Hey, by the way, guys, I have a referral code. Thank you, Boots. Oh, I forgot that was there. Firebrand. You start dumping your... Okay, everyone start dumping your referral code in here, please. Since everyone's doing it. Yeah, come on. Just give it to me. Everyone, just give me your referral codes. Come on, because definitely we'll be clicking on each other's links now, for sure. That's how things work.
If you've already done this, just pick your starting package, of which I will always recommend the cheapest option, though you can learn more about all the choices in my starting ship guide. As of now, I suggest the Aurora.
I like it. He likes the Aurora.
Download the client and double check your specs. 16 gigabytes is recommended, but 32 is really going to help you
16 gigabytes? I'm surprised that this is still the recommendations for the minimum. Tech, your code is weird. Interesting. Tomato has a system that promotes his followers' referral codes. Is it? I mean, if he's reached his max codes, then I mean, there's no point for him to use his own code anymore. It makes sense just to randomize it. But the randomizers are, I mean, if there's like 100, 200 people randomizing, it's so difficult to actually get your code used. But on the term, back to the topic of 16 gigs, I was running 16 gigs DDR2? I was on DDR3, I don't remember. And I would need to shut down Chrome for the game to work. It goes, you need minimum of 8 gigs and you only have, 7.5 or something. So I had to start shutting down programs to play Star Citizen so it runs properly. So 16 gigs at minimum, but at 16 gigs, like, you are not getting good frames. It's rough. 32 is the minimum my recommendation is. And I know it's rough for new people who might be getting a new PC and can't afford that. But the unfortunate truth is, at bare minimum, 32 gigs SSD is what you need to play this game. There's no way around it.
An SSD hard drive is mandatory for this game to run well. After getting all your prep done, launch into the main menu, and from there, you'll have 4 unique cities on different planets to choose from. Of these 4 choices, I highly recommend either New Babbage, located on Microtech, the frozen ball of dirt on the outer rim of the system, which insulates newcomers from a lot of traffic but can also find you far away from other activities, or Area 18 at Arcorp, the bustling ball of buildings, I guess, that's pretty central to the system but currently lacks explorable terrain. There's also Orison, which is beautiful but can be a struggle on older GPUs, and Lorville is worth a try as well, but lacks a little bit in items and upgrades. Lorville recently got a rework, so it's looking pretty nice right now as well. Both of my suggested
I always pick
locations...
Lorville as my starting spot. I'm just used to the place. It's also kind of central. Most people overlook the motherboard. Yeah. I mean, I'm one of those people. I don't put too much focus on the motherboard itself, just as long as it has enough spots to plug things in.
Of New Babbage in Area 18 will offer you medical gear, weapons, armor, and other items you may need. But Arcorp is going to require you to go to one of its moons for ground gameplay. Keep in mind, this is your initial starting point we're choosing.
No, what do you mean, Shade?
This is where everything...
Work around using symbolic links to install Star Citizen once, but have live PTU, EPTU available? No. Explain? Yes, Tim, actually, that's the drive I have. Also, if you do get the Samsung drives, there was a firmware, or is it a drive update or firmware update? There is some kind of update you have to run on it, because they were having longevity issues. Be sure to run the tool that you get to fix up whatever the issue is before you start running them.
On your account will start, and where new things
there
in
was
your
an
account will
important update to run
spawn
those,
if you
yep.
acquire them. But the game is persistent, so if you fly somewhere and leave your items or ships in that place, they're gonna stay there, even after all the players leave the area and you log off. Same goes for in-game purchases. This is a pretty new addition to the game as of 3.18, but allows for things like player shipwrecks, weapon stashes, and other belongings to be found and taken by others over days or possibly even weeks.
This
Back
is
to
a long
starting,
script. You know, I can respect the amount of time and effort this looked, because he had to sit and write this out. And he had to get a whole timeline of, this is what I'm saying. This is what footage is going to show in the background while I talk about it. This took days. This took days to make.
We're still getting used to the game, so let's start at Area 18. Currently, this is the only location in the game with a new player tutorial, and that's going to help us along.
Will take 1 terabyte of RAM. You joke, Firebrand, but why not just load everything up into RAM, right? Actually, should they be? Well, the other way around. Do you still need RAM if your just SSDs are getting to the point where they can just read-write as fast as RAM? Will that happen? Will you eventually get to a point where we have the CPU and just some kind of memory that... Do you need RAM? Will you get to a point where you just don't need RAM? Is that physically possible? That your memory that you're using is just that fast? Cosmos, subscribe. Welcome. Thanks for following. Virtual RAM on a superfast SSD. Right, so is it possible we get to speeds in the next 5-10 years where you don't need to buy RAM for your computers? Basically, here's your CPU, which is also your GPU, and just a stick of NVMe, whatever, 5 terabyte, which is so fast you don't need RAM anymore. Is that possible?
Path.
I mean...
So like I said, if you haven't already been prompted to take the new player tutorial...
The AMD CPU on my daughter's computer is the one with the... that comes with a GPU inside it, right? Because at the time, she was just playing Roblox and she didn't need a GPU. So I just bought her that, I forgot what model, it's a couple of years old at this point, but basically it goes, plug in your CPU, off you go, and just played with the onboard GPU. Didn't need to have a separate GPU at all. So I see a time where your GPU and everything, it's just, everything just comes on the one CPU and just not even RAM. It's possible.
You should. It's not the most complete experience and still needs plenty of work, but this will guide you through the basics of the game and we can break out of it at any point we want. It's also built modularly, so it'll probably update over time as new features are brought in. But when you wake up in game, you're likely going to encounter...
RAM speeds are increasing as well as M2 speeds. You still need ultra-fast data access to L1, 2, and 3, caches, plus RAM for what you're using. So, no, we'll always need RAM, right? There's no point in time where your SSD will also be your RAM. Or maybe. RAM is the direct pipeline to the CPU. Storage, no matter how fast external to CPU's bus. Good point. A Ramel chiming in with the logic there. Stem just downloading more RAM is... Yeah, I know people who download a lot of RAM over the years. It comes and goes. RAM will always be faster. Right. But the same way that the new AMD CPUs have a GPU built in, like these all-in-one systems are coming. Cloud gaming, yeah, also true. There'll come a time, well, there's super fast internet coming also, right? Like whatever speeds we have now, that's also possibly doubling or tripling to the point where, no, but see, nothing's going to be as fast as an onboard GPU. Nothing will be as fast as that. The heat will be too much. Yeah, possibly. Let me know if there's a company which does this, though. That's something we should be investing in. What should we be looking at? I don't know if Stim, if you weren't here yesterday, we were talking about this, how instead of buying spaceships, we should have just tossed all our money into NVIDIA, right? Because in all our wisdom, we were diving into buying spaceships where we should have been buying shares in NVIDIA that made the GPUs so we can see our spaceships. So you should have put that $200 into NVIDIA instead of the Constellation, because your $200 would have done a lot better as a return, and now would have bought you some concierge status instead. So what is going to be the next big thing for the next 10 years? AI. Oh, you know what? Intel was coming out with AI chips. But what is the market cap here on NVIDIA? Market cap of 1.2 trillion. What's Intel at these days? Market cap 181 billion. Really? All right, this isn't investment advice. NVIDIA market cap 1 trillion. Intel market cap 181 billion. And Intel are really aggressively trying to get into the AI thing with AI on a chip. NVIDIA obviously having a head start with the GPUs. Interesting. Horrible dividend yield on Intel. But I think it is one of the forgotten players. And if they're trying to catch up on the AI trend, which I think is not something that's going to be going away, right? Just coming off lows, very serious lows, multi-year lows in the 20s. You know, I got to take a close look at that. Anyone here involved in AI or use any kind of Intel products for AI-related stuff? It does feel undervalued. Yeah. I mean, also, I don't know anyone here. We're talking like a bit about the Arc, their GPUs. I don't know anyone here uses any kind of Intel product at all. But the same way that 10 years ago, not many people were using not many people were hot about the AMD GPUs. We're working on a government department, says Tech. What are you talking about, Intel chips? Elon's brain chip? Yeah, look, I think there's potential in what Elon's doing with that, but there's a lot of hype and regulatory red tape to get through. So exciting stuff as far as brain-to-chip interfaces, but concerns about the FDA and regulatory things about that too. Am I invested in crypto? Slice the chain a little bit, thank you. I own Solana, which I bought because I needed to use Sol as gas for Spacebucks. And so thankfully, I think we started Spacebucks around there or something. And I went to check in on them. Like, oh, I'm an investing genius. I mean, that wasn't intentional. I just happened to have it. But I'll take that. That's fine. We'll take it. Oh, yeah, I guess we're doing an economics talk now. Well, are we done with Star Citizen? Because it seems like we're done with it. So, good video by Space Tomato. Go use his referral code if you're looking to get in. We did this. Yes. X1. Squadron 42 polishing. I use NVIDIA GPUs and Intel CPUs. If Intel came out with a high-end GPU, I would look at it, but I don't know if they can make it work very well with NVIDIA since Rival came out. Yeah, I think that combo also, EB, the Intel versus the Intel meshed with NVIDIA is just, it's the match made in heaven, right? Everyone does that. Intel's a lot of catch-up. I don't know how well they can do it. NVIDIA is that they're an intellectual company. They can move in different fabricators if needed. Right, yeah. No, NVIDIA's great. They're in a sweet spot. They've done very, very well. AMD processors seem to be the way to go. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen the... Actually, let's take a look now. Where is the development? Public telemetry? Take a peek while we're here. Curious to see what is getting used the most now. Because the AMD CPUs were kicking it. The 3900X, right? Oh no, the 5800X3D. That's the one, Sim. Right. Everyone's been raving about that one for Star Citizen. Star Citizen loves the X3D cache, right? Yeah. Remove the stuttering, right? I mean, I'm not. I'm okay with what I have, but the next build, maybe. And if this ever loads up, which it is not. Hello. Nothing? That's not. I have a... Oh, there we go. It's a computer. It's black. Has lights. The lights change from green to red depending on the temperature. Right now it's yellow. That's about it. Yeah. I've got a 4070, 64 gigs RAM, i13-900K. Is that it? I think so. It runs what I need. All right, so where are we? Show me what is hot here. High scores. The 3070 Ti? What? Here, AMD Ryzen 5700, AMD Ryzen 5800 X3D. Right? Average FPS of 55, horrible. But what are you running? I don't understand these combinations. You're running a 2080 Ti with a high-end, well, I guess all the money went to CPU for these guys, right? Still looks like the powerhouse of the i9, 10900K. Seems to be the high-end. Am I not? Outliers. Here we go. This is better. All right. Okay, so top right-hand corner over here, we have this guy with 83 frames a second. He's running the AMD Radeon with the i9 14900K. Beefy. What's this guy doing? Threadripper. All right, yeah. 4070 Ti. Decent. But what the hell? That doesn't make sense. What's that? Nebula. Who you calling old man? I think he's talking to Stim. Yeah, these numbers are kind of weird. I mean, maybe he went somewhere, we got 2 frames a second and brought down the averages. This doesn't sound right. 38 frames. A 3090 with a Threadripper. Yeah, these outliers are a bit weird. 3080. Yeah, those are strange numbers. But yeah, those Threadrippers definitely did well, and the AMD... We've definitely seen a lot more AMD in here than we have in previous years. 4080, 4090s, 81. Look, check out these frames. I mean, that's good. I mean, it's not 120 frames good, but it's good. Yeah, using 7950 X3D, 5950. So AMD's doing good. Telemetry takes into account considering the graphics setting of the system. True. I guess if you're running on medium and you're getting high frames, it's different. Yeah, good point. Daddy Cash is running a 4080 Ti with a 7700X and you get 100 FPS constantly. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But also, that 4080 Ti is a monster card also. I guess you're not getting any kind of CPU bottlenecks at all either. But there was a time where we were skeptical we'd get anything over 30 FPS for this game. So I'm very pleased to see we've reached the point in time where we have the hardware to run this game at decent rates, right? Yeah. Well, guys, it is my lunchtime, but that was fun this morning. So thanks for dropping by. All the new follows. Slicer. Stim. For the sub. Thanks. Slicer for the bit. Stellos. Thanks for the follow. Sketch Therapy. Thanks for the follow. Stim_citizen. Followed me. Thanks for the follow. Little Boots. Thanks for the follow and the bits. Athy. Thank you for the bits. Tech for 1 month gifted sub. I like gold because he likes my Dutch. Guardian Pro, thanks for the follow. The Bad Dagu, thanks for the 50 bits. Prate, thanks for the follow. Black Dream Hunk, 400 bits, thank you. Ochi ADI followed me. Oh, he's from ADI. Are you allowed to follow me? Check on that. But thank you, Ochi, appreciated. The Bad Dagu, thank you. Logic Pro, followed, thank you. I think that's everyone. Did I miss everyone? That's it. That was a good stream. I'm glad we got to get this out of our systems today. What time do I normally start streaming? I'll start around 9:30 a.m. I will be more prepped to stream through lunch times, especially if we're playing. I will have food ready to go, but I'm just not that prepared just yet. But we'll get there. And as is always tradition, I will hand you off to some random girl in yoga pants. Ah! She's always there. She's always there every single time. What's the time? At 12 p.m., she sits by her laptop and poses like that for hours. I don't know why I'm wasting my time sitting here talking about chips and Walmart and inflation and refactoring of the replication layer when all I gotta do is put on my yoga pants and do what she does. And it's every single day. It's unbelievable. How'd she do it? I'm curious to know what she actually talks about. Like, once we're done here, I'm going in. I gotta know what she's saying. I mean, is she just parking like that and just talking to chat while I don't want to understand more? Cat suit jerk skunks seems to be doing something interesting. Let's take a look. Fexy, Space Tomato. Oh, you know what? Space Tomato dropped me a host, rated me last time as I was signing off. So the next day I came on, I saw an alert that Space Tomato had rated me, and I was like, oh man. So I got to toss the raid back to him as a show of thanks. So ladies and gents, I'm going to throw over Space Tomato. Tell him his last video sucked balls. He'll appreciate that from you. But I will hand you over to the very talented and handsome Space Tomato, and he will take good care of you while I go enjoy my lunch. So /raid Space Tomato Gaming, like so. Space Tomato, spelling it right. There's no E in tomato, right? Tomato Gaming. Yeah, it is. Yep. All right, guys, be kind, be good to each other. I will see you tomorrow morning, 9:30. Thank you for you guys dropping in. It was a pleasure. And have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. I will catch you then. Goodbye. Now is the part where I ridicule Athy for giving me 1 bit. What does she think she's doing? Like, what is a bit? No one knows what a bit is. Gotta speak to Athy. Thank you, Tech. Have a wonderful day.